Hello, ladies and gentlemen of SpeedGaming 2. My name is Elias, and with me today we have Gink Harper in the commentary box.
Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing fine today. And they just started right now.
Yep, not even giving me time to announce our fantastic prize pool. Hey, what nerve!
Oh yeah, what is the price pool? I forgot.
The prize pool right now is sitting at around decent number of 80 euros. For those of you who live in the other hemisphere. That's about 90 something dollars. So we need to check the rate of the exchange if you want more
Yeah, but
information.
90 is alright, I think. Yeah.
And the winner of this match will get half of the prize pool, as this is the final match of the tournament. As again, our players are not giving us the time to explain. At any rate, we are gonna see today a match between SuperViperT302 and HardcoreGaming, two of the top players when it comes to this game. Second and third on the leaderboard.
Second and third on the leaderboard. First place isn't in this tournament. I think Nemi has never... Yeah, this is grand finals.
Yes, Nemi has, to my knowledge, never entered the tournament, and it is kind of part of Nemi's character, I guess. This somewhat mysterious air, and not a lot of interaction with the rest of the community. Not a lot is known about Nemi, to be honest.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Yeah, of the people that currently are playing the game, because to my knowledge, Nemi is more of a... Nemi just arrives sometimes and just like, alright, sure, I just... This is the new world record, okay, bye.
Yeah, it seriously was like that.
But it's
so...
Yes, yeah, so the player...
So the world record, the world record right now is at 258.39, and it was over a year ago that record was was made by Nemi43. And the cool and the mysterious thing, or the weird thing about it is, normally if someone gets a world record, especially in Super Mario Galaxy 2, there are like hundreds of people watching. But for the world record of Nemi, there were like barely 15 people watching at the time. Because, yes, as Elias already said, he's very isolated from the rest of the community. And always shows up when he wants.
It's a case of personal preference. I can understand that 100%. Not a lot of people are comfortable with the idea of streaming necessarily, and some people see it as a necessary thing, but there are every now and then people that remind us, hey, you can not stream and still be a top level speedrunner. Now, yeah, we haven't talked too much about the two players at hand now, which are two of the top players in the game, as we already mentioned. SuperViper's been around for quite a long time by now. He's also a runner of Super Mario 64, where he has a very respectable time, the 140-14x. I cannot remember the exact PB, but he has a very respectable time in Super Mario 64 as well. He runs other games. He's a character. He's a particularly interesting player. He plays a few games where he's pretty good, and this one is no exception. He's been seen for a long time as the only person that could actually battle Nemi for the world record. After Valu decided to step away from Super Mario Galaxy for a while at least.
Yeah.
And then we have HardcoreGaming, the prodigy from Germany. Yeah. And well, there's not much to say about Hardcore besides he saw Galaxy. He decided, well, I'm just gonna start working towards this, and I'm gonna start working towards getting the world record. And lo and behold, 3 years later, he had multiple world records in Galaxy 1. He had world records in Galaxy 2 now, and he's working together. He's working his way to the top, as he always often does.
Yep. So at one point, HardcoreGaming held 8 out of 9 world records in both Galaxy games, which is insane. To my knowledge, there was only who was the person who held 9 out of 9? I think Valu held 9 out of 9 at one point.
It must have been Valu is the only person.
Yeah.
They managed to lose.
And Hardcore is still aiming for that. The thing is, he spent this the Galaxy 2 world record is right now, to my knowledge, the most optimized world record ever in both games. So he's been grinding for the world record since summer, and only recently has gotten the second sub 3 of
ever.
Of ever, yeah. The second sub 3 ever. So this game is the game where he's spent the most time and effort in, and it's starting to pay off, but it's been painful to say the least for him. But when he finally gets it, he'll have the time to focus on Galaxy 1 again, and to get that 9 out of 9 if he gets it. Of course, we all wish for it to happen, because the last 9 out of 9 was a long time ago.
I mean, it's one of those things where this is not to take away from any of what Valu has done, but getting a 9 out of 9 now would be much more impressive than back then, simply due to the amount of competition that there is.
Yeah, true.
Valu was a pioneer in many ways, experimenting with a lot of strats. He's an extremely capable player. But back then, the competition wasn't just as fierce as now.
Yeah.
Now you have a lot of top runners that are competing. For instance, now we mentioned he wants a 9 out of 9, and he had 8 out of 9, but by spending so much time in this game, that led to other world records in Galaxy 1 being taken. Obviously, because other people are not gonna be standing there like, oh sure, I'm gonna just wait until we get this thing, and then I'm gonna start playing again. No, of course they want the world record, and of course they're gonna try to get that. So that would be an incredible achievement.
That's what has been happening in 2022. Both Galaxy games, a lot of new players, a lot of new competitors came in. Yeah, and there was a huge wave of newcomers in both Galaxy games, and Galaxy 2 was always the more unpopular game of both games, but it has seen a resurgence due to Hardcore going for the world record, due to this very tournament, and due to other factors, which is really cool to see.
Yes, it is. It must be said that the two Galaxy games share a physics engine with a few tweaks for this game in particular. But they are, at least from my experience of a person playing both games, they do feel like very different, very different. Not in the way they play, but in the way you are supposed to approach the game. Because Galaxy 1 is the kind of game that rewards a lot of consistency. If you are willing to put in a lot of time, you will get good results. It's just it's an art where you have to be refined, you have to be precise, you have to basically get into a rhythm with the game. Whereas Galaxy 2 feels very different. As in, it feels like we mentioned, like Archer spent 6 months trying to get this world record. Still hasn't done it.
Yeah.
It's extremely punishing. There's a lot of hard strats in this game. That are extremely hard, and in my opinion, it's not that Galaxy 2 is necessarily more optimized than Galaxy 1, but it is much more punishing. And by virtue of that, what's important is to be able to get all the strats without making mistakes. And obviously, if you see, for instance, the sum of best for world record holders, in Galaxy 1, people are much closer to the sum of best for any percent. The category is a bit shorter, okay, but that's not enough to offset it. You know, you get what I mean. There's a lot of uncertainty in the Galaxy 2 run. That's what makes a tournament like this so interesting. You can see players pulling off really cool upsets because their opponent just had a really terrible run, or you can see a player have an incredibly good run where he just finds the rhythm, and just yeah, all right. We thought we were safe in this matchup. Nope. So,
Yeah. Actually, now that I think of it, you're probably right. It's because of the sheer inconsistency and hardness or difficulty of strats in Galaxy 2 that make this world record a bit harder to get. And Hardcore's angle for this flutter is very weird. Okay, he still got it. So yeah, this is one of the things. I thought we already talked about this in previous matches. By now you should know how this works. This is the Yoshi flutter, the infinite fluttering, that was like discovered 2 days after the game came out, or something.
Shout out to Nintendo's debugging.
Yeah. How did they not see that? Like, seriously. Okay. So by crouching midair, you can reset the flutter and flutter again. And we combine that with backwards momentum, which is overpowered in this game, as in almost every Super Mario game, to be able to traverse huge distances in the game. And that's what we just saw there. That's what we will see in the next star. That's what we will see in a lot of stars, and it's very interesting to watch, to say the least.
Yes, this game is very flashy. I've talked before, like, how Galaxy 1 is very precise. Galaxy 1 is the older brother that's just very precise, very polite. Is the person that just shows you around the house, really, like.
True.
And then Galaxy 2 is the younger brother that just arrives, and you notice it. You notice the younger brother when he's there. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of flashy tricks in this game, and that's why it's also seen. You mentioned the resurgence. It's also been very popular with marathons this year. And yeah, it's cool because it's a really cool game to showcase. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Whereas
basically the level design is very different from Galaxy 1. It is a lot more linear in Galaxy 2, I think, and a lot more straightforward, because they did the experimenting in Galaxy 1, and now with Galaxy 2 they really put a lot of effort into the level design.
There's more of a clear direction, I guess.
Yeah.
In the levels it's done. Now these strats to get the fast hits on this boss are gonna be really important. It's kind of tricky to be able to do these fast hits. They're not exactly straightforward, especially with this second hit that Arco is gonna try to perform now.
Yeah.
Let's see if you see Viper doesn't. All right.
Okay, Hardcore got it. There's a very small time window to get that second spiny, so shoutouts for him getting that. That saved him a bit of time, to say the least. Viper is doing the slower setup, licking the two spinies. Yeah. Toogs. I agree with Toogs here. Galaxy 1 is still a good game.
Galaxy 1 is an awesome game.
Both are awesome games.
It's just, I don't know, it feels like it's a different target of audience, at least speedrunning wise. Galaxy 1 is the game you play if you want to be the movement master. Galaxy 1 is the game you play if you want to be the person that somehow you play and then another person next to you plays, and they feel like you're doing the same inputs, the same thing, but you gain time on them somehow because your jumps are meticulous, everything is a clockwork machine. That's what Galaxy 1 is, at least from my experience. Galaxy 2 is more like, yeah, let me do swag strats, let me save like 0.2 seconds just by doing this weird thing that nobody knows how to do. Well, it's cool.
Yeah,
come on.
And one of those things we will see Hardcore doing right now on the second planet there. So that's one of the things that's one of the swag strats, I think, as you just explained. Yeah, I want you all to pay attention to this trick right now, because this is super cool. So normally you're supposed to get on the right pillar there to get to the comet medal by just grinding, by digging through the ground. But what Hardcore does, he speaks to the Luma, gets into the launch star, but doesn't activate it to, get rid of the drill, jump off here, get the comet medal, and then do a precise triple jump. Just really, oh my god, and he got it. And that saves like 2 seconds.
Yes.
So shout outs to that.
And if you think, okay, Viper is missing the clip for here.
Ah, yeah.
It's unfortunate. You have to be in a position, not super precise position, but it is somewhat tricky if you're not used to it. Can happen. It's understandable.
Yeah.
Now, that trick that Archer did, you can just say, oh, great, it's just a triple jump, but you have to go neutral and start the jump slightly sideways in order to have enough space. And even then, you need to. It is really, really close. It's something I don't know who else does it besides Archer, or maybe Claire.
I think Claire does it. But so it's just a super precise trick, and I do it. but let's say I haven't been very successful with it. But I have done it. I have practiced it a bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things that unless you have a clear goal. Oh, sorry, we're getting a bit troll here.
Oh yeah, Trollos. Shoutouts to that. So this fight is based on RNG. You want the boss to jump on you to save yet again 1 second, and Hardcore got trolled 2 times. So yeah, that's like a time loss of 4 seconds about, or 6 seconds, something like that. So yeah.
Alright, Viper was about 50 seconds behind entering the stage here, so we'll see.
Yeah, so that triple jump strat is one of those smaller brother or little brother strats that Leia's talked about. It's you know, you understand the trick, you know how it works, you grind it, and you know how to do it, but it still can screw you over so many times because it does unexpected things.
And due to the nature of the game, which this game, you've seen a run of Galaxy games. You know, Galaxy games do not have shortcuts. They do not have major skips that save 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're talking about
they don't have the BLJ, they don't have GBS, they don't have the major iconic skip where it's like, I have to get it and I have to grind it because else I cannot run. Literally cannot run. There are major skips, but these save. What would you say is the biggest skip in the game?
It has to be one of the flutters. Also, Boulder Bowl 1, that's a huge skip because the second planet simply sucks and it takes a long time to defeat all the enemies.
Alright, what's that? A minute?
Yeah.
45 seconds to a minute, I think.
Yeah,
For a top player.
Galaxy Generator Flutter saves close to a minute. I think a bit more than that. Yoshi Star 2 Flutter saves a minute. No, Yoshi Star 2 Flutter doesn't save a minute. Less than that, right?
I think it's a bit more than that. But the point being, it's a minute still. You can be a good runner and still not do it if you're feeling like not necessarily top level, but you can be a runner with a respectable time and say I don't do this game. I don't want to do it. I hate it. I despise it. There was this meme when I almost got sub to 40 without the Oni. I have 1 skip in Galaxy 1. Then Timba got sub to 40 without Oni. I have 1 skip. It would be something. It's like getting a good respectable time in Sunshine without doing GBS. It's like one of those things where it's unnatural for a game, but these games don't have these major skips. So what you're forced to do is to go for harder skips. Don't save as much, but you still need to do them to gain an advantage, obviously. And that comes down often to small strategies that are ridiculously hard, especially in this game.
Yeah. Also, shoutouts to Hardcore, who hasn't made a single mistake until now, who has been very, very consistent. He out-consisted the most consistent runner in Galaxy.
Yes, and I think honestly Viper is feeling the pressure a bit. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's the first tournament of Galaxy, to my knowledge, with the prize pool. It is also a final, a match that's been really highly anticipated by a lot of people. There were a few predictions that saw somebody else get to the final, but these two were definitely the front runners, and they didn't disappoint. And yes, and it was constantly stated, we have a battle of Hardcore, who is an extremely talented runner that goes for a lot of silly hard strats in the name of speed. And Viper, who runs in a very... not completely opposite, but he runs
a very conservative way, yeah. And it worked out for him. I mean, he's 3rd place. He got a very respectable time of 3 hours, 0 minutes, and 32 seconds, which is really, really, really good for this game. So it is the way to go, and maybe SuperViper will prevail, because everything can happen in Galaxy 2. There can be one major hiccup from Hardcore, and the tides are completely turned.
Yes. You mentioned it briefly. If you've seen a run of this, you know that that's the case, but one of the most important skips in the game is literally right before Final Bowser. So that can lose you a lot of time.
It's the matter of one button press.
Yes, so it's... in this game, it truly is never over until it's over, and there have been deaths in the Bowser fight. Very hard.
Shout out to Pods.
It is extremely hard to do something like this in a tournament, especially from a high-level player, but that has happened in the past.
Seems to have missed 2 boxes here, but still only loses 2 seconds. Amazing. So let's see if Hardcore does the strat, or if one of the runners will do the strat that I recently discovered that saves 1 second in Fluffy Bluff 1. Sorry, I have to. I'm very proud of that.
Shameless plug.
I'm very proud of that.
Gotta be proud of your contribution to the community, everybody. From the player that just enters and says, "Hey, I want to run this. How do I do that?" Even then, you're contributing to the community, because the more players there are, the more people feel there's competition, the more people are driven towards playing the game. So never understate your contribution to the community.
No, Hardcore, you misunderstood. It's if it's badly executed, it's 7 frames, but you consistently avoid the coin, so it's a free second of time save. And did you avoid the coin? I don't know. I don't remember if you did avoid the coin, but if you got it, then joke's on you for not using my skip.
Amazing. It's not even a skip. You're not skipping anything. I mean, I guess you're skipping the coin.
Yeah, it's a coin skip. So I don't remember if Hardcore got the coin, but if he did, who's the one laughing now? Okay, he didn't get the coin. I'm not the one laughing.
And Viper is gonna get a lot of coins now. Notable that Viper prefers to do Fluffy Bluff Secret first. As far as I understand, it is a matter of personal preference.
Not 100%.
Yes, it's faster technically to do one of them. I don't remember which one. My brain is fried.
Fluffy Bluff 1 is faster only because of one thing, because of the cycles of the water sprinklers on the second planet. So it is a thing of preference. You don't really lose time if you don't do it, but if you're like really fast, it might happen that you long jump into one of the water sprinklers and use your cloud power up.
Yes, I know from experience that happens in greens. So.
Oh yeah. So yeah, maybe we can talk about Smg2 categories in general. So this is the shortest category. It's any %, which only lets you play with Mario in. Which isn't the case for Galaxy 1, where you can play as Luigi as well. And you have to collect 71 stars. Timing ends on the last star. There's also 120 stars, which is collecting every normal star. But then there's also green stars, which is a very, very interesting category. And Elias is one of the top runners for that category, which is 100 post-game stars. I think that's how you can define that, right?
Okay, so it's called just 120 green stars, dude. The suggestion is in the name. The stars are green. It's technically NG plus, I guess you could say. If we were to compare, because you got to know Mario games name their categories really weird. All right. Because from an outsider, you see 120 stars. You're like, why 120? Because it's not 100%, right, for this game.
Yeah.
So, how would you go about it? I just settled on this. Any percent Mario in Galaxy 1 is any percent. Any percent Luigi in Galaxy 1 is NG plus, any percent. Because you have to finish the game first to be able to play it. And
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
to play as Luigi in Galaxy 1.
Yeah, you can just.
You have to have finished the save first with Mario. You can copy the save. You don't technically have to play, but you have to finish the save with Mario first.
Yeah, but I think they named it any percent Luigi because of the fact that you can just pull a save file somewhere, right?
Yes, but the save file is technically completed with Mario. So technically speaking, if you're coming from say PS2 stuff that uses that a lot, it's NG plus. And this is the same with Galaxy 2. It's not technically NG plus any percent, but the green stars is just post game, basically. You finished your 120 stars, and the game just tells you there's 120 more spread around the worlds.
You revisit all the galaxies and find the hidden green stars. Sometimes hidden, sometimes not. Sometimes absolutely not hidden. And and then there's 242, which is the true 100% of this game.
Which a lot of people have completed very recently.
Yes. Like 40 people or 35 at least.
I don't know. I don't know if I finished the 602, but let's not open that can of worms yet.
Oh yeah. Hardcore mentioned something very important in chat right now, which is Bank Toad. Because there are some galaxies you can only unlock by feeding some hungry Lumas a lot of star bits. We won't be using that. There is this thing called Bank Toad. Oh yeah, and Hardcore is doing Gobblegut fast strats. Maybe wanna pay attention to that.
It is really cool to see a top player execute this because everything is extremely precise. This boss fight is a pain.
Yeah, is that another 27 World 1? Is it? It isn't, right? No, it isn't.
It isn't. And I have to say, Viper is behind already by an entire Gobblegut fight. That's a lot of time.
Yeah. Viper really is feeling the pressure, and no one can blame him. Absolutely no one. But Hardcore finishing World 1 with a 28.05, which is super respectable. Let's see if Viper does the fast strats. First phase is good. Was good.
But Viper should still be able to get a 28. If the fight goes well, but it's still. I mean, a minute of delta is nothing insurmountable by all means, but it's definitely not how you want to start the race. Obviously, you don't want to start a race and be already in the back foot. For a lot of reasons, even if you're not watching the game actively and you're not seeing the gap between you and your opponent, you know you're behind. You know how Hardcore plays, and you know you're not playing up to your own standards. I know Viper does this a lot, as in like he holds himself to high standard when it comes to I'm a consistent player. I need to use that to my advantage because else I'm gonna lose. That's my point. That's the thing I do. So being in this situation obviously is gonna be pretty hard, but Viper is a really experienced player, so I have no doubts he's gonna be able to bounce back from it. He does a lot of no resets. He's the kind of player that can go on a run even if it's not the best, because he knows at the end of the day it's important to finish runs. It's important to build up your experience with the game.
Yeah.
And that's what you gotta do. Archer instead of just all right. I'm just sail past. No mistake yet. Besides probably minor stuff that we didn't see. As
Yeah.
it's really easy to lose a second to just movement stuff in this game.
Mm.
It can happen.
A second that you don't see from even we don't see if we don't pay attention.
Even the player doesn't necessarily see it sometimes.
Mm.
It's this the movement in Galaxy games has this particular thing. It's not very sharp. You don't. From personal experience, when I play Galaxy games, I don't feel the oh yes this oh and never say it.
Oh yeah, that was Hardcore's first mistake, which lost him about I don't know 3 seconds, something like that, or not even. I don't know, probably 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but Hardcore was 56 seconds ahead of Viper out of World 1, which is significant, but as Elias said, it's easy to bounce back if you're a consistent runner like Viper. But let's see. Hey, Hardcore did get a really beautiful back foot there.
Yes, momentum abusing
Yes.
this game is just...
Or rather, gravity abusement in this case. But
I mean,
yeah, of course, also
technically,
momentum.
you are abusing the gravity to gain a lot of momentum.
Okay, fair. Okay.
Now Viper has a much better time for the falling triple jump there, so we'll see. We haven't mentioned a lot about structure of the game, but it's pretty simple in a way. You just go around through the worlds that are collection of galaxies. Don't ask me how worlds are collections of galaxy. I think Nintendo's got the terminology a bit stuffed, but regardless, you go around in the worlds, you collect stars, you need 70 to get to the final boss, just like Super Mario 64. And there's no going around that limit. And moreover, there's limits on how many stars you need to access a specific boss battle in a world. So you're gonna have to collect... You cannot afford to be too picky with the stars in this game. Route changes don't occur that often, and when they do is mostly about a new skip has been discovered, or the order of the galaxies has been changed to better exploit cutscenes. In other words, don't expect level changes 90%. That's not the case generally. What can change is the route. The optimal route technically varies based on your skill level, because obviously there's levels that become faster as you're faster. As you are a more skilled player, you can do some tricks and the levels becomes faster. But top levels have been this once for a while, and I don't think they're gonna change unless we have some major discoveries.
Yeah, which might happen with this game, because there's some very active strat finders for this game. One of them I will talk about later in Gravity Gauntlet and the end of World 4. And one of the strat finders is Jada, and we will see a cool flutter found by him right now in Hightail Falls, which HardcoreGaming will execute now. And this is one of the more easy infinite flutters, but if you do it this way, it becomes a bit harder. So this is the Jada version of the flutter. It is a lot more difficult than the normal version, and it saves, again, 1 second.
Yes, and you cannot be even oftentimes people just use a normal flutter because it's more versatile. You cannot use this flutter to do other things that you might want to do. Say, if you want to if you're doing green stars, you cannot do this to get top shelf. You can only do this to get on the bottom part. But you might want to get to the top shelf if you're doing that strat because it's faster for a particular green star because you have to get the combat medal. So it's very specific. It is a strat that's very useful for any percent. But again, it's one of those tiny optimizations. Viper getting a huge jump there.
Viper also goes for Jada Flutter. And he seems to have a very good angle for this. Yeah, very good angle.
Say, that looked really quick.
Yeah.
He looked like he had a close to perfect angle there.
Yeah. Because with Jada Flutter, you always don't end up landing where you want to be. But both of them got pretty good flutter there. Okay, so this is Hightail. No, this is Cosmic Cove 1. And you will see Hardcore and Viper collect 15 coins here to unlock the secret star, but they will not enter the secret star or the sling star for the secret star because it's faster that way to unlock it because it stays unlocked and
Hardcore
to enter
there,
it later.
that was beautiful. Collecting the shell as you ground pound.
Yeah, it looks so cool. There's a lot of strats in this game that just look so cool.
Yes, it's as we said, flashy.
Yeah.
Now this level doesn't exactly inspire flashiness, at least in this category. It is the classic water level. Not much to say besides the fact you can just jump on top of a penguin if you wish to. 2 penguins, oh, more than 2 actually. If you skip the one that can happen sometimes, you can jump on top of a lot of penguins. Did you know that Hardcore's mascot used to be the coach, right?
Oh yeah, it was like one of his emotes. It still is.
Yes.
The penguin coach. Cool.
Yeah, no, his name is literally Coach. Like,
oh.
His parents, when he was born, look at that baby penguin and decided, we're gonna name you Coach.
Maybe
Whatever.
It means something different in Japanese.
Let me check. Okay.
Oh yeah, Hardcore just posted the emote. That's the coach right there, what you're seeing in chat.
Nope. The only... Okay, so there is a German page for about the coach. I have no doubts that Hardcore actually wrote this thing. I have no doubt. I am 100% convinced. This has to have happened. Okay? This is my ad canon now. And
That's
okay,
Penguru,
as far as
Penguru, not the coach.
oh, it's Penguru,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
It's not the coach. It's the old penguin, right?
Oh yeah, the coach is like the big penguin, which is not old like Penguru.
Yeah, it mentioned the coach because it
Oh,
appeared
okay.
there, but it's not the. Wait.
But they're the same size. But Penguru is a little bit more hunched over.
I mean, of course, old age does that, but they're both equally as Chad, I would say.
Yeah, true.
Actually, it would make sense to assume, or at least believe, that the two are related, alright? And the age checks out for Penguru to be Coach's father. So we could theorize that maybe Penguru actually called Coach. Which, if that's the case, that's a lot of wisdom to come from an...
Coach is in Big Beach Balls, you're right. Yeah, Penguru is the one from Big Mouth. And isn't he like also in Drip Drop? Or
Yes.
Okay,
He's also in Drip Drop. Now, that said...
The worst galaxy ever, by the way. Sorry, I have to say that.
If you actually named him Coach, and Coach actually went on to be a coach, if that's not psychic, I don't know what is. The dude is truly a guru and has the wisdom of 1,000 years.
Coach. Oh yeah, what we saw there and what we will see from Viper right now, this is the secret star, so they're entering the secret star. And this secret planet, you normally have to change the planet to ice by ground pounding on a button. But by shooting starbits at the bunny, his brain gets completely, or he just has a seizure and runs right into Mario's arms.
Listen, if somebody shot me from the sky with a falling colored meteor in the head, I think that my head would hurt as well.
True. Fair point.
Have you ever wondered where the starbits come from? when you press.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Where did they come from?
My personal
There's,
theory
like-
is that my personal theory is that there's all a key to that's like an orbital bombardment weapon. And Mario hired him to just run around with him and just drops, just rains down terror on his enemies.
Maybe he became a coach because of the pressure of his name. Maybe.
That could be the
Lakitu
case.
throws them. Yeah. There's a giant invisible or a giant gun in the air.
I mean, if Bowser's got cannons, I would understand Mario after a while being like, yo, I want some of that stuff, dude. Dude, that's unfair. Alright, now Hardcore doing one of the fastest stars in the game. This is the I guess this is the first hidden star you collect, like as in like star that's not blatantly obvious it's there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Cosmic Cove, that was pretty.
Yeah, as in like you see the
You
Hunger
see
Luma,
that-
you know
yeah,
that there's an
yeah.
objective.
Yeah, let me think.
No, right, you do right side down the secret pipe.
I mean, you see the pipe.
Okay, but you still get what I mean. Like normally the pipe will also lead to a normal room, so it's not
okay.
the first.
Then the second completely hidden star.
So there are, as we just said, we were just discussing, there are galaxies that have stars that are not.
And now
Mission?
I want you to look at this star because this is movement-wise for both runners. Movement-wise, this is one of the most impressive stars ever. The movement you do here is absolutely crazy because you can see both of them jump off clouds, which is normally not possible without certain power-ups. It's just a very small time window they have to jump off there, and Hardcore just did 3 of them in a row perfectly, and now there's the 4th cloud jump. Beautiful. I love this so much, seeing this.
Now I just don't want to make it because I might have forgotten my frame data, but the cloud jump is a 2-frame window on 60 FPS, so it's a 1-frame jump. For people that are used to 30 FPS. And if you want to do a cloud side flip, that's a 1-frame window because you have to wait 1 second, 1 frame for you to turn, and 1 frame for the jump.
It is 1 frame.
Cloud side flip, I think, is 1 frame.
It isn't. It can't be because I've spent a lot of time researching cloud side flips, and I've been using them for Fluffy Bluff 1 very consistently, like very, very consistly. So I doubt it's one.
Remember, you can buffer the turn. Only the A needs to be on the frame. So maybe that's why.
Maybe that's.
The
cloud
turn is always
2. Shadow just stepped.
Alright,
Okay.
makes sense. That makes sense why we got to mix them up like the normal ones. Oh, Hardcore missing the starter.
Oh.
Right, small moment. In these B sections, you always end up consuming a lot of B juice in a way when you arrive at the end. So it's normally when you get the coins, you restore a tiny bit of the B meter. So Viper getting the B power up there. I'm not sure if it was intentional.
It wasn't because he long jumped, but that doesn't lose a lot of time.
Yeah, it's annoying. The B power up just kills your aerial momentum really
Yeah.
easily, so.
Yeah, and also you can't do backflips and long jumps and all that cool stuff while in the B suit or B power up. Just not possible. That's why both runners chose to ignore the B power up in the beginning.
That's why all players mostly of these games ignore a lot of power-ups.
Yeah. The spring power up gets completely ignored in Galaxy 1. At least for any percent.
Yes. And if you have 2P, you can technically run spring power-ups.
Oh yeah, true.
Actually, even with 1P, if you do a shore launch. But let's not get into Galaxy 1 tricks that are
Yeah.
ridiculously stupid to the point that nobody actually does it actively. Okay.
So Hardcore now grabbed a 6 life mushroom, which he will use later for...
Which is also called the Mushroom of Shame.
Why?
Because, I mean, unless you use it for a lava boost, in which case it's not the Mushroom of Shame. But if you grab it because you're afraid you're gonna die, that's the Mushroom of Shame.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Look at this lad. It doesn't even need the see. He doesn't even need the boosted life. You can just do the lava boost with 2 HP. Sure.
No, but you use it for the
Yes,
following
I know.
trick. Yeah, of course, but the viewers don't, so that's why. So yeah, we're shaming Hardcore for getting the 6 life mushroom because, well, he's scared of the game. That's the
Yeah, of course,
real
right.
reason.
This game is very hard, so you don't want to die.
Yeah.
Right? So you get.
It's totally not because of this trick here. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about Matter Splatter too. Matter Splatter isn't possible with 1P.
It is
in
with
Galaxy
the
1.
Mega Side Flip. I think.
Oh, are Mega Side possible?
I remember somebody saying that you could do Matter Splatter with a side flip, but don't quote me on that in the sense that I don't know 100% it's possible, but it might be possible with a Mega Side Flip.
Yeah, for those of you who are wondering what a Mega Side Flip is, it's like...
It's a very high side flip.
It's a very high side flip due to weird game mechanics. I don't know.
Please don't let me go into Euler angle axis parameterization. I don't want to study more than I already do. Thank you very much. Alright. There's no... This is the part where the game gets confused. Sorry. Alright.
Yeah, you have to have a PhD in mathematics if you want to run this game properly. Both of the runners happen to have that, so that's convenient.
That's convenient as Hardcore isn't even on Uni right now.
He's that young. The one Korean child. He's 17, by the way. Since he has been 17 for 3 weeks now.
Oh, okay. I kind of expect that he's been 17 for like 4 years now.
I know that because our birthdays are 1 day apart. I mean, 1 day, or rather 3 years and 364 days.
I guess. 4 years and minus 1 day.
Yeah.
Much faster
yeah.
way to say it.
True. You see, I don't have a PhD in mathematics.
Dude, even I don't have a PhD in mathematics.
Yeah, but you study engineering, which is basically the same thing. Or something with engineering.
A lot of mathematicians will kill you for this thing that you just said, but...
I study languages. What am I supposed to say?
Insult them in all languages you know. Alright.
Je déteste les mathématiques. Oh. I've just done it.
You probably made a lot of French people happy now.
Yeah, probably.
That said, we haven't commented much about the fight going on, but if I have to say one area in which Galaxy 2 is decidedly inferior to with respect to Galaxy 1, it's the Bowser boss fight.
Yeah, true. And the first boss fight, there isn't much to talk about because the punch cancel happens in Bowser 2.
And just wait for Bowser to toss his giant, gray, sad star bits at you, and then you just go and pound him into Bowser.
Odio la matematica. Is that Italian?
Yes, it is.
Ah.
Horribly butchered, but Italian nonetheless.
So odire is hate.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Now, it seems to me that the runners are both still at about a minute of gap, but Viper hasn't lost ground in War 2.
True.
Now, this comes down to which player at this point makes a mistake. Viper at this uncharacteristically not very consistent World 1, whereas Archer was really on point. If Archer makes a mistake, Viper has to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Viper has to
Yeah.
Be able to not make the same mistake, proceed on and inch his way back.
And there are a lot of opportunities for hardcore and Viper, of course, to completely screw up. One of them is at the end of World 3, but of
Do
course
not
there are
underestimate World 3 in general. World 3, a lot of people talk about, oh, World 4 is super difficult in this game, or oh, World 6 is the worst. I like to say this. Consider World 3, alright? World 3 is one of the places where you need to practice it. You think, nah, World 3 is fine, I got it down, right? You do Cloudy Quarter because it's fun, but then you're like, it's fine, I got it down. And then it murders you in so many different ways. It's so easy to just say, World 3 is fine, I got it. But no,
True.
there's absolutely
True.
nothing in this
I
game
think-
that you can take for granted.
I think every Galaxy 2 runner has experienced what you just said. Because I remember my Galaxy 2 experience when I started out exactly like that. I have so many memories from missed cloud momentum long jumps in Cloudy Court 1. It's so painful to even think about it. So thanks for me having to revisit my old memories. Oh my god, Hardcore. Hardcore was very close to losing his lead there, but he
Yes.
still got on the
Now,
ledge.
cycle skip here, we'll see what the players do.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore just swell, easy does it. No big deal.
And Viper at the beginning of Cloudy Court. Doesn't seem like he's doing any mistakes, any major ones. He seems to have lost momentum there, but it doesn't matter. Got a lot of momentum from long jumps with the cloud power-up, so yeah, it's fine.
Alright, Viper also did a pretty interesting piece of tech there. That is something that's not super well known. But
I didn't notice it, whatever it was.
the fact that you can create a cloud even after you've already spun in the air.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I've known that.
The game, whenever you try to spin again after the first spin, as Mario do a very quick turnaround, but that turnaround doesn't actually have the spin hitbox. So if that hitbox comes into contact with an enemy with an active hitbox, that doesn't work like a normal spin, you get hit. But
Oh, okay, that's what I didn't know. How do you know that? Or where is that relevant?
it's relevant in a lot of things. For instance, you know, in Galaxy 1, how you battle Bowser, and you hit him multiple times in the air with a spin.
Oh,
Since
yeah,
since Bowser's active hitbox is not present everywhere, what you can do is just jump and then spin multiple times, and the second spin animation still hits Bowser and still causes him to do stuff. But he doesn't have an
that
active hurt
one.
box, but the spin animation
okay,
still works.
Of course. Oh yeah,
And-
that one. I think it's called a shadow spin, if I'm not mistaken. If
Yeah.
we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never used the proper name for the thing. It's like pretty easy to spot what happens.
And the interesting thing is it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. Like in Battle Rock 3 or Battle Rock Comet, the spinning mid-air after you've already spun doesn't work on the boss. And we completely forgot to talk about score predictions here. So you can still predict for Viper if you want. But Hardcore's already finished with 780 points.
Oh, it's an overrated meme anyways. Everybody should always predict 690 and every runner should always get 690 because really... Or 420
Yeah.
if they feel like losing a lot of time.
Shame on Hardcore for not getting 690 here.
Yes. It is acceptable to not get it if you try for it, but if you overshoot it, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Viper's wagging and skating backwards.
Yeah. It is faster, right? I remember that someone said that's faster. Viper 720, I bet you looked into his stream. Shadow. Because you're the person who would do that. All right, now for Freezy Flake 1 for hardcore, and of course soon for Viper as well, which is very dependent on one cycle. The cycle being the fire flower thing. Okay, Viper got 840. I'm sorry, Shadow.
For the legend.
Yeah.
We'll see Hardcore attempt the fast cycle here.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, sorry.
So on the next planet there, you would have to get a separate fire flower to free the comet medal. But if you get the fast cycle, like what Hardcore got just now, you can skip to use that exact fire flower for the comet medal. And then we can use this fire flower to skip another cycle or another fire flower. If we lava boost onto the platform or to the platform, to the statue, and destroy it with that fire flower. So we only use 2 fire flowers in total.
Yes, that saves quite a bit of time, obviously. Something
20
top runners
seconds.
don't have, that's something top runners don't have too much trouble getting. What can really mess you up a bit is trying for the clip.
Sometimes you bonk.
Yeah, or just mistiming the jump, because especially with Mario, the slope before the slide is kind of this weird property, whereas if you jump at a certain distance, it just kind of like pushes you back in a weird way. And if you get it, you're kind of screwed because you need to be on point with that.
Yeah. Another cycle-based star. We will see both runners at the beginning when they enter the star change their camera, because another technicality of this game is objects that are off camera don't move. At least the majority of them. There are exceptions, of course. So right now we will see them change the camera. Because the thing you see there in the background, or the second planet which Hardcore will enter now, does have these moving platforms. And to get a good cycle for the red platform after the green ones, to get the fast cycle there and to not wait for the next cycle, you have to get that. You see that? That's a tight window.
It is very tight. Many players have tried for this and died horribly.
Yeah.
Oh, Worker there being very close to the edge.
Yeah.
You see, all these small moments are things that, if a player makes one mistake and gets one of these moments turns into a death, Viper would be instantly within 20 seconds of Hardcore at this point.
Yeah. Especially for this star. It's not Is it Haunty Halt? Yes, it's Haunty Halt.
It's Haunty Halt's star 1, and dying in the star, since you see this checkpoint, is very close to the end. So if you die very before the pipe, it's a long cut.
I mean, there is another checkpoint, but choosing to do the fast cycle, you skip the checkpoint. And
That's the entire point.
And checkpoints in Galaxy 1 work a bit differently. First of all, there are more checkpoints. Second of all, they depend on where you are, not if you actively activate them. So when you enter a new area, you automatically activate a new checkpoint, and when you'll die, you will still be in that set area. But that isn't the case for Galaxy 2. You have to actively, touch the checkpoint to respawn there if you die. And that is what makes this game also a bit harder and not that forgiving.
Yes, indeed.
As every Galaxy 2 runner will tell you.
Viper going for the complete sideways flutter. There's just a bit of variation between strats here. This one tends to be a slight bit more reliable, but a bit slower, I think, like a tiny bit slower.
Yeah. But of course, reliability is key, and maybe we will see one of those moments where reliability will prevail in this run.
To take an old saying from Formula 1 and a lot of racing stuff, in order to finish first, you first have to finish. So, And that is very important, and that can also that obviously in the real world means mechanical stuff can break. This what can break in a speed game is a player's resolve. And this is very important. There's a lot of talk about mentality in speedrunning. In a race especially, it's really important to just trust yourself and keep on believing that you can do it, because if the moment you stop believing, you're probably lost if you're against an opponent that's comparably...
Yeah.
Like, as a chance with you. Because you cannot go in... That applies to a lot of things. You cannot go in thinking, oh, I've already lost. Of course you're gonna lose still. And that's very easy. That can happen, obviously, because it's not easy to keep motivation if you're not doing great.
Yeah, mentality is key.
It is key, especially in long runs, and I would consider this a long run, at least for speedrunning standards.
Yeah, and that's
It's
one
very
of the
long.
things where both runners are different. I mean, mentality-wise, I really don't want to describe both runners, because that could be seen as like an insult or something like that. So I will not say that, but Super Viper is known for staying consistent even at the very end of runs, and even if he's on a very good pace. So if Viper ever gets very or super inconsistent because he's, how do you say that? Because he's not scared, but because he's stressed. That barely happens. That rarely happens. But hardcore has had a tendency, and I do not want to insult anything here, but hardcore has had a tendency to get a bit more sloppy in the end game, in the second half of the run.
I mean, and this is not... This is a thing that can happen to a lot of people, and it's understandable. Buckling under pressure is nothing to be ashamed of. As you say, like, I personally wouldn't take it as an insult if it was me you were describing, because of a very simple reason. If somebody's telling you, dude, I think this is a weakness of yours, and it is true, and you look at yourself and say, okay, this is true, you should never insult them, because they're actually telling you, you can improve on this. And getting stuck on improvement in speedrunning is really bad. As in, like, if you're there, like, I don't know what else I can do to improve.
Yeah.
So hardcore probably knows that, yeah, it can happen. And especially in a race with grand finals, pressure, money on the line, right on the line at the end of the day, you win the tournament. That's also one of the most important things. Like, I won the tournament. So when the time comes to for levels where, you know, if you do a mispress, you lose 30 seconds. And some mispress that can happen very easily, a flutter over like nothingness, or particular stuff like Fearsome Fleet. That's gonna matter. You gotta be aware of the stress that's on yourself, and to be able to fight it. And I wonder, Hardcore and Viper definitely already have experience with tournaments. Maybe Viper more so because of Super Mario 64 as well. So I wonder, I have never had too many chances to see them both in action in a tournament setting, which means additional pressure over a run, because in a run you can't restart. It sucks if you lose a run that was a good pace, but you always have a second chance. You don't have it here. You cannot say, okay, I'll just reset and retry, right?
Wow, this stream has turned into a psychology stream, and I can't say that I dislike it. Okay, so this is again another galaxy you unlock by feeding hungry Lumas, and this galaxy called Flip Swap features super jumps.
No, sorry. The official name is Yeetmobile, and I refuse to call it in any other way.
I've heard 4 different versions of these jumps. I don't know why. Okay,
But
so
can you agree with me that the Yeetmobile is the best name?
I need time to think about that, but it's a strong contestant.
Alright.
I'll take it. Silly jumps, super jumps. swap momentum jumps, which is like the most boring jump of all of them. Most boring name of all of them.
Yes,
But
Yeetmobile definitely
Yeetmobile-
beats any of these.
Yeah. Okay, Yeetmobile is the best one. I agree. Handshake.
Alright. Glad to hear you're a man of culture and a reasonable man.
Yeetmobile. I've never heard that one.
I
bet there
know
are, like-
I haven't been running in a while, but gotta upkeep the traditions, you know. I am disappointed at the community for not realizing the potential of the name Yeetmobile, honestly.
I bet there's like 6 other names for that, for these jumps. Yeetmobile.
Okay, just quick explanation on how it works, because now that we gave you this fantastic name, we also have to have a reason for why it's so cool. And why Viper died.
Yeah, Viper missed one. I mean, he didn't miss a Yeetmobile.
A Yeetmobile. Alright. So, the... Can he save it? Yes.
Yeah, he saved it. Oh my god, that was risky. Okay, Yeetmobile successfully executed. Now that I know the name, I will say it a lot.
Okay, so how to perform one? You have to long jump as one of these platforms is turning around, so that the momentum of the platform gets basically added to yours, and your long jump becomes a really long jump, or the Yeetmobile.
Yeah. I mean, for the Yeetmobile... Oh yeah, of course you have to long jump. Had blackout there. Also, Hardcore is doing Yoshi Star Comet, and when you don't want to bonk into a wall while defeating all the enemies, because when you bonk into a wall while being Rainbow Mario, you lose all of your momentum, and it takes forever to regain that momentum, and it screws you over so much.
Yes, the fast run with Rainbow Mario is basically P-Speed in Galaxy 2, and in Galaxy 1 as well. And it takes a while to build up, so obviously you don't want to bonk, or you don't also want to touch a wall or stop yourself. You have to always keep pointing in the direction that's forward, or at least partially forward, so you can keep on running. That can be not ideal, if you have to maneuver around precisely.
And there are objects you can bonk on, or lose speed on, which don't result in Mario having to rebuild momentum, but just to keep the running speed when he touches the ground. For example, when he just defeats an enemy mid-air, he loses his speed mid-air, but still has his speed when he touches the ground. Cool.
Yeah, the quote-unquote P-Speed flag doesn't get cancelled in that way, but it gets cancelled if your speed falls under a certain amount on the ground, I think. So, now Hardcore is this is technically the first part of the game where you backtrack a bit to revisit these old levels that have been modified by the Comet, and these levels are not super complex, honestly, but they're fast levels. That's why they're being done, obviously.
Yeah, and those levels are the reason why runners collect Comet Medals in the first place, because they just unlock crazy fast levels like these. Viper having a decent Yoshi Star. See, the last enemy was in the mud. One other thing about enemy movement, which gets more relevant in a later star, is that it's completely random. So it can screw you up in Yoshi Star C, but not in a way that another very infamous star can do. That will happen in the second half of the run.
Yes, and randomness in enemies is nothing new, obviously, to the Mario series. If you know other games, you know how you know how the behavior of anything from enemies that bear coins and the actual RNG of coins in Super Mario 64 can influence a run. Don't even get me started on Sunshine, please. So, RNG in enemies has always been a big component of Mario games, at least at a high level. Obviously, you don't feel it as much at a low level, because losing a second to RNG isn't a big factor if you just started running, obviously. But
Yeah.
if you're actually trying to get a very good time, actually trying to get to the top, and you get bad RNG in Galaxy, you're gonna start to feel it a bit. Not a lot, but a bit. You're gonna start to have a run where it's like, dude.
Hardcore now climbing the tree like a champ without
Nobody needs
Yoshi.
No one needs Yoshi,
Yeah,
sorry.
of course.
He's just saving Yoshi the trouble.
Yeah.
What a legend.
So yeah, but concerning RNG, Galaxy games are, you know, very tame with the with the RNG time loss or time save. There, yes, as Elias said, other games are worse. 64 and Sunshine, of course, Sunshine is like the most RNG based game ever. Not based, but
Sunshine is the most RNG Mario game, definitely.
Yeah. But the RNG in this game, but the RNG in this game doesn't. You can get the worst RNG in all RNG based stars and still get world records if you are good enough.
Yes, definitely, and especially because in both games the worst offender, I guess you could say, is Bouldergeist.
Oh yeah.
That isn't done in any category that's not 100% for 120 stars, but it's basically 100%.
Yeah.
Which...
And even Bouldergeist, even if you get the worst RNG in Bouldergeist, I mean it sucks, but
yeah, even if you get it 4 times or 3 times, now 4 times because you have to do it 4 times in total. It's no 2 times, sorry. It's not the worst. Like you get 30 seconds added to your total. Too bad. The run is 9 hours. That's not gonna prevent you from getting a world record. Whereas, for instance, if you have Super Mario Sunshine 80% and you get bad RNG, it can completely kill a run that was perfect.
Yeah.
At a high level. So it's not ideal, obviously, in that sense. But it depends on their outlook of RNG in general. Because if you don't like RNG, Galaxy is for you, I guess. There's very little.
Yeah. If RNG appeals to you, you can run Mario Party. there are people who run that.
Oh, I know.
I know someone in chat will. A specific person in chat will, soon defend him running Mario Party.
Again, there is nothing wrong with running RNG-based games. It's just something that a lot of people don't enjoy. You know what? Also, a lot of people don't enjoy certain kinds of foods. Doesn't mean that they're bad.
Yeah, of course. It's just, you know, the thing with running RNG-based games, they are fun, and a lot of people like watching that. Because the game can either screw you over completely, but it can also give you the best RNG ever. And but yeah, Mario Party. I want to run that too, just for the laws, I guess. But it becomes torture on top level. At least, yeah. Imagine like world records. The world record holder for a Mario Party game only needing 150 attempts, and the second place trying to get the world record now having over 530 attempts and still not getting it. That would suck, right? Right?
Hello. Listen, you gotta put the game on a slider, alright? If you say I want to run a game, but RNG is a big problem, but I don't want this game to just be a context of skill, alright? And at the end of the sliders, you can have Mario Party on one end, which is just like RNG. You have knowledge of the game, but the knowledge ceiling is reached pretty early, right? It's not like after a while you're gonna improve too much. And then on the other side of the slider, you have chess, okay, which is just 100% skill-based. There's no luck involved. There's technically a small element of luck, but assuming you run on like even boards and you keep on switching, technically it bounces out, so there's no luck element. And every game fits in between.
And then Hardcore is now doing question block flutter. I hate to...
Okay, no, this is perfectly fine. This strat is dope.
Yeah,
It's
this is one of the... it's not enough! Oh, it is. Oh my god. The angle there is so precise.
Strat not for the faint of heart.
Yes. My heart always skips a beat when they approach the glass thing. But yeah, I completely agree with that. With what you said with the slider.
And the thing is about that if your game is too much on the skill side, you're not gonna have too many upsets, are you? Like, you're not gonna have like a game that you're not gonna have that many underdog stories, which is something a lot of people enjoy. You need to have some element that can change things a bit, I guess. And I like that Galaxy 2 especially does that inherently by being very volatile in a way. As in, there are tricks that you can fail and you feel like, oh, dude, really? And that creates interest because it makes it not impossible from a player that has a lower skill ceiling to still get a win. If he plays well, or they play well. That's pretty cool. Now Archer doing this weird thing, you just keep the bullet bill throughout the cutscene and you love the junior. Yeah, you don't have to wait for the phase where he just conveniently stomps the ground and exposes the weak point. Nah. It's still there, the weak point, we're just gonna do it.
Mario game bosses.
Full beans. Oh, don't worry, Mario game bosses are bad for that, but Zelda bosses are even worse.
Oh. True. Okay, Viper now doing QBF question block flutter. Let's see. So the angle for that first flutter is already tight to get on the yellow question block, but the second one is even worse. And yeah, I think Viper got a good angle here. Should be fine if he doesn't touch the... Oh my god. I always think they aren't low enough.
Yeah, the camera there doesn't help, obviously.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, you're not meant to do this at all. See, I hate when people complain about the camera, saying, "Oh, the camera isn't following me, the camera is horrible." Dude, you're breaking the game. How is the camera supposed to keep up with that? Then there's the Super Mario 64 camera, which is the worst thing ever. But that's besides the point. Alright, now Viper attempting the same boss fight. Archer, I have to say, has built a decent-sized lead by now. It is... Archer has quite a big advantage by now. And...
yeah.
We're now heading towards the part of the game where dreams are crushed, hope is lost, and the mind and soul of every person ever running this game has been broken at least 50 times.
Yes, World 4. World 4. And the scary part is that World 4 isn't even the worst world.
Yes, yes indeed. But it has this property where it's consistently hard no matter the category. No matter what you're doing, it's gonna be up there. You're gonna need to practice the stars for that particular category in this place, because they all are extremely punishing, and if you make a mistake, you're gonna suffer a lot of time loss. All the strats in there are super dope as a consequence. Because there's a skip in every galaxy.
Yeah, this one is the perfect a demonstration of what world is basically. This right here.
Yes.
So of course there's Yoshi in Sweet Mystery, which means that you can fly over the whole galaxy just like that.
But let's just assume for a second that you're gonna have to do a flutter. Or you have to get this. You're gonna have to do the flutter without line of sight. And you're gonna need to get this comet medal. And that already in itself is kind of hard. If you need to learn the game, it's not the easiest thing ever. Now, Arco getting that cool bounce there.
Yeah, yeah. Hardcore is still on world record pace, which is obvious, kind of. But again, we're only 1 hour and 20 minutes in this game, and
Going
that
right
means
before the
nothing.
starter.
That means
Pretty
nothing.
nice.
Yeah. No, so everyone who is hyped because Hardcore is on world record pace. I'm not saying anything unless he enters Galaxy Generator.
Listen, you gotta believe in yourself.
It's not that I don't believe in him.
No. But you gotta. It's foolish to believe you already accomplished something when you don't. The only thing being on world record pace means is that you still have a chance. And just gotta believe in yourself and believe that you can do it. But people who believe that it's already done or you're gonna see a world record today, it's Galaxy 2. Okay. I know. I know. I can compare this game to a lot of things. All right. And some of which I have not experienced. But none of them are definitely my top things to experience.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. Sometimes this game is absolutely brutal.
Yes.
Beyond belief.
Having started out with Galaxy and then moving... Oh, Hardcore does the more consistent strat for this, because, yeah, he has failed this a lot of times. It was like a curse for him.
Listen, when you play as Luigi for a while and then you do with Mario, you suddenly realize, oh wait, this is actually difficult.
Wait, Hardcore was minus 1 minute and 16 seconds on record going into World 6 yesterday. I didn't know that. So yeah, that just shows you how.
Listen. I've seen divorces go better than that. Okay. That's how bad this game can be. That's how bad this game can be. So, never get your hopes up, and in a way, like, get good practice, which would mean the equivalent of getting a good lawyer, but get practice in, but don't get your hopes up. Okay. Now, Viper getting a really consistent with Mystery.
Yeah.
Archer now finishes Flipsville. I would love to mention to you all the skips that are present in Flipsville, but I will probably run out of time before the run ends. Just know that death walls and death barriers are kind of more kind of guidelines than the actual.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen divorces go better than that. Never forget that.
And you know me by now. You talk to me a bit. You know the kind of person. I'm not gonna say shit unless I believe it.
Yeah. That's true.
So. You can take me for my word when I say that.
Yes, and I know exactly what you mean. I've seen Galaxy 2 streams. I've run Galaxy 2. I've had a very harsh experience with Galaxy 1. I haven't run the game in like over 2 months. And I wanted to come back to it. So my PB was a 326. Then I went back to it, and guess what I got? I got a 4 hour, 5 minute run.
Yes, that's how brutal this game is.
Yes. It's so frustrating at times. Even the fact that Hardcore has been playing only this game and category since summer, just shows that this man has nerves of steel.
Yup. Now, a level that's deceptively hard, where it's easy to not die, but it's also easy to lose time for no reason here.
Yep. True. Very cycle-based, but on the bright side, it usually goes well. But if it doesn't, it's automatic huge time loss.
Yeah, the thing that's more characteristic and more impactful of this level is that this is one of the safe levels in World 4, which you would not normally say if it wasn't on the other world. We're like, alright, sure, I need to take into consideration with the World 4, this is easy. This level is one of those that if you are pretty reliable and pretty consistent, you can get stuff done. It's gonna usually go well. Moment of respite. And we have to say honestly, World 4 isn't even the worst world in any percent. In Green Stars is much worse from my experience. Green Stars is brutal for it. But of course, it gets a bit easier later, but any percent World 6 is also pretty brutal. So.
Yeah.
Jumpworks Galaxy.
It's one of the less brutal ones, especially Jumpworks 1.
Yes, we have this moment here where we have this sequence of 2 levels that gets a bit easy. Now, we're also gonna go into Starshine Beach, which it's not the worst level if you are at a high level or running the game and you have a lot of experience, but for newcomers, it tends to be one of those things that kills a lot of runs.
Yep, it does. It does.
Hardcore, they're using orbital artillery to...
Again, you can never put enough practice into Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Never. Even if you think you have something down to get consistently 99% of the time, no. Just no. No consistency allowed. And there will be strats so inconsistent that we'll see in this run.
Yeah, obviously, you could even say like, but I mean, can I not just not do these things? Obviously you can. And Viper, in a way, is a personification of the bit more conservative mindset of like, alright, I'm not gonna do everything. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna know that they can do it more reliable than others, so I can compensate for it. It is a way to approach the game that makes it a bit less brutal and a bit more low risk. Yeah. Then again, I wouldn't define a round of this game low risk.
Yeah. Nothing is no risk.
It is really, really cool to see how 2 games that are built on the same engine largely, and by the same team of people, for the same console, etc. And are this different on a speedrunning basis? Because they share the movement and the physics, but everything else in the way they're constructed as a speedrun, it's so different from Galaxy 1 to Galaxy 2. That's really interesting to me to see this. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. I still can't believe this is the final thing. The final round. The final match.
Yeah, the final matches have gone by quite... the tournament hype has died quite a bit in the early, like late group phases to early bracket phase. There have been some matches going on with Viper.
Ooh, saved himself. Good. I mean, there are people who would disagree. Me, for example, I've been very invested in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm talking more on a general perspective as far as I can understand. However, that is not to say there have not been people that were actually actively running and putting the work in, putting the effort. And now for this grand finals, let's not forget that this is at the end of the day has been I think the tournament with the most amount of participants ever in the history of Galaxy. And
yeah.
Yes, and also the first tournament of this game with a prize pool, which, if you ask me, it's pretty cool that we actually have a prize pool this time, and we actually have a lot of investment from the community and viewers that contributed to the prize pool.
Also, a result of the ever-surging Galaxy games, running Galaxy games. It has been a very cool year for both games. Mr. Arska asked a question which is very relevant even for us. By how much is Hardcore ahead right now? I think I'm guessing 1.5 minutes, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
is it more than that?
We can check at the end of the start for Hardcore.
Yeah. So we can note the exits.
Yes.
This is also cycle based. You think this is the worst?
The worst power up in the game, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought
the power down, I should say. Power down, I should say.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the star.
Fun fact: you can do this springless.
Okay. Did you note the time was 1:28:55 or something?
Yeah, I
Let's
was
say
just gonna time it.
55.
I was just gonna time it on the black screen. So 129.11 for the black screen here.
Okay.
Viper now is gonna have to do the entire star, which is about, yeah, I think it's more like 2 minutes now. Hardcore is
Oh wow.
quite a bit.
Oh my god. And he's of course on world record pace, but it's only like half of the run. The rest of the run is absolutely brutal.
I have to say that sometimes people, I don't know, this feels like something out of anime. People blossom under pressure. So if you told me Arco will have a really great race because he knows he's gonna have all this like people watching, etc., I would believe you. Like some people work that way. Some people take the pressure, harness it, and be like, all right, I need to do good. Let's rock. Let's just go within. Just get on with it. I can do it.
Maybe.
We'll see. That's what I mean by believe. Don't be overconfident, but believe. I believe in it.
Yeah.
I believe in my man.
I also believe. I believe that this can happen. I mean, I think Hardcore would be one of those guys who would, as you put it very beautifully, harness the pressure.
It's one of those things where a lot of emotions can actually, in a way, consume you if you don't use them properly, and that's something that's very useful to be able to do when it's something extremely hard. It takes a long time to be able to. Some people, actually, I would never say that some people can do it naturally because I still have to meet a person that is able to do that naturally. Even Archer, I don't know him super well, but the few things I know about him, we talked a bit. He is an extremely intelligent person, and I don't doubt for a second that you might be able to do something like this. Now, Viper's black screen now, yeah, it's already over 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds, basically.
That's like so much leeway that Hardcore could have a major mistake and still be ahead.
And the best part about this is that Viper's run isn't bad. Viper's
Yes.
run is good.
Viper is still on.
Best.
I think he is still on personal best pace. Even. I think this might not be that much off.
Yeah, so you go on. It's still if you told them you're gonna get this time, like you're gonna get at this point with this time, it might have been like, yeah, sure, would have been worse. I'm not gonna be pissed about it. It's a race. It's cool. Archer is really going really well. It is basically we spent the entire time saying this game is brutal, and Harper's like, nah, fam, I can't do this. Shut up, I got it.
I mean, don't speak too soon. Again, there's so much stuff coming up still.
And that's why he said he's been doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Always use a past tense, or else you're gonna have this commentator's curse affect you. Maybe Hardcore's even stronger than the commentator's curse. We'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. It's very difficult to escape the commentator's curse.
Yes. Also, I do want to add that there's a small bonus. Player getting second is not gonna walk away with empty hands because they're gonna get 30% of the prize pool, which, if I quickly do the math, should be around like $25, $30 today, hovering around there. So it's not bad at all. And obviously, again, when you got at this point, it's a shame to say, well, I got in the final, I won to win, and getting second, but still. Viper has shown throughout the tournament that he's been doing great. Archer has shown throughout the tournament that he's been doing great. And whoever gets to win this...
Yeah. Great is an understatement, but he had a really good boss fight there. Sadly, he missed the star there, but that boss fight was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and Boulder Bowl 1, we haven't mentioned the ramp strat. We're gonna take the chance to do with Viper. It's a strat that's been discovered by JDA actually.
Not that long ago, if I might add.
Before that, runners used to do a particularly annoying jump with Mario because you barely have enough distance to get there.
Yep.
But JDA discovered you can manipulate the ramp not gonna get too much detail now, but what you can do is trick the ramp and just use it instead of a actual booster ramp like a normal surface. So you can do this, and that's much more convenient, obviously.
And there's another galaxy where that is used, in World 6, which is a huge run killer. Because even though that ramp skip was one of the more easy ones, there are ramp skips which are so much more harder than that.
Yes.
And Hardcore did the skip how you would normally do it, even with the rock power-up. But this time he skipped the rock power-up because he doesn't have to grab the Comet Medal again.
Yep,
Oh, and it's possible to soft lock here. Let's hope that doesn't happen. It doesn't.
Yeah, there was this meme because a soft lock happened to me twice in a row. Like I did a run and soft lock.
Really?
And the next run I did, which was like 2 days later, I soft lock again.
No,
was hilarious.
You're kidding.
It was hilarious.
Oh my god.
And the worst thing about this soft lock is that we still don't know why it happens.
It's... Okay, so, technically speaking, if you get this in a tournament, it's not a run killer because you can, technically, since the game saves after every star automatically, reset, restart, and get on with it. The problem is if you run on Wii U, and you have the JP version, and you don't have the... you have one particular bamboozle system, PM. You're gonna have to reset it up entirely, the internet browser thing, etc. So it's gonna take a while.
Yep. Because of the star bits. Because even JPVC with Galaxy 1 isn't nearly as bad as it is with Galaxy 2. For that.
Now, when it comes down to time, Archer has a lot of leeway, but even that soft, if you got the soft lock, I don't care how much leeway you have, Viper's gonna get it.
Yep.
So that's out of the way now. Viper not turning the camera like a real champ. Like that's how it should be done beforehand. Turning the camera, come on, we need the camera. Camera. Nah, I can do the right blindfold.
Yeah, like concerning style points here, it's not looking good for Viper or Hardcore.
Yeah, honestly, the style points are very important, but it's not the end of the world, you know. A lot of people are like, oh, why did you do this strategy? Like, dude. Then again, if you have two people doing it and one does it and the other doesn't, the style points is gonna be a factor at the point. But in this case, there's nothing.
Yeah.
This is stylish enough.
I mean, if you don't want to show off the coolest risk strat when you're on world record pace in the grand finals of a huge tournament.
Of a tournament with a prize pool, yeah, sure, I understand that.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll still shame the runners nonetheless.
Look, this just changes from the possibility of being a cool dude, and if you're not doing it in a normal run, of
True.
not having style points, to being a real Chad, if you do it, and having a small amount of style points subtracted. So I can understand that the payoff isn't there, but...
Yeah, I got a 256, but I didn't change... But I changed the camera in Boulder Bowl.
Invalid. The rules are changed now.
So, yeah, I might as well go for another run. Right? Doesn't count.
Yep. Now, Mr. Super Viper also got through without soft lock, which is cool because it means we can get this to the end. Technically, there is another soft lock possible in the final level, but I trust that both runners are experienced enough to know how to avoid it because they actually do know how to avoid it.
Yep. Also, this is the RNG-based star Hardcore is on right now. So the crab movement is completely random, and because of the speed the crabs have, especially the blue ones, RNG makes the star really hard. I mean, he's alright now. And most of the time, if you know how to cancel your rolls and stuff, you shouldn't fail it. But the thing is, even if you're super top, if you're a top level runner, if the crab movement is awful, this can still screw you up and get you to lose a life there and having to do the star all over again, which happens. It happens rarely, but it still happens because of the RNG.
Shoutouts to Keegan for asking JDA to make her out without the star. Legend. Absolute legend. And I can understand it, you know, if you don't like something, why should you do that?
Yeah, of course, of course.
You lose a minute, but sure. Obviously, as you can imagine, the stars align. Pun not intended, but I'm gonna say it's intended now. It's really fast.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Hardcore's RNG was decent, by the way. It wasn't
Yeah.
perfect, but it was decent.
I thought it was decent on the good side, isn't like... There's... I'll take it. If you tell me you're gonna get this forever, I'll take it.
Yep.
See, Archer ahead, but Archer is ahead by an entire star at this point. It's just...
I mean, an
We're
entire star can be one Honeybloom S or one Tall Trunk 1. Depends.
Now, Archer is gonna go through the second Gobblegut fight, which is completely identical to the first, which is bad news because it's pretty difficult.
Yep. So if you failed Gobblegut fast strats in the first fight, you can redeem yourself here.
Yeah, or maybe feeling even worse because like I failed it the first time and then the nerves start setting in and then you get lost.
Yeah, of course, of course. But it seems like, okay, fourth one done, fifth one done. Okay, done.
Gotta say, Archer has been pretty much clockwork throughout the run.
Yeah.
I don't think we can mention one major mistake, and by major mistake I mean something that costed more than 5 seconds.
No, I mean the closest thing was maybe in Puzzle Plank 1.
Yes.
And the second thing was in Boulder Ball 1, where he missed the star completely. That was like 5 seconds, I think.
Yeah,
but other than that...
That's still extremely impressive in this game. It would be impressive in Galaxy 1, hell.
Yep.
So this man is on fire.
This man is on fire. I think this is a better run than he had yesterday, and I didn't even watch yesterday's run.
This is World 4 cleanup.
Yeah, World 4 cleanup, which is equally as unforgiving as the World 4 was, like the normal World 4 was.
Now, much to the dismay of a few runners, the latest route change moved most of the cleanup in World 4 instead of World 5. As in, after doing World 4, you start doing a lot of backtracking. So the fact before was used to be in the World 5, and that psychologically has quite a bit of an effect, as in it extends the already psychologically taxing World 4, which can be not the best feeling. Then again, after you're done with this, you can enter World 5 and feel a bit more at ease with the fact that you've already done World 4. Now there's World 6 in front of you. World 5 is also not super easy, but you have a bit of... You have like the quiet before the storm, right? You have this moment where you can get into World 5 and start gathering yourself up and alright, I need to nail this, runs on a good pace, and then you go in. Before you didn't have the chance, it was World 4 cleanup, World 6 boom. Everything in a row. So there's been ups and downs with this change. Obviously, the most important thing is that it saves time. So I'm sorry, but the math doesn't care how you feel. I'm afraid. After completing this star, this purple coin mission is very technical, I guess. It's one of the most movement-based stars in the game.
Yeah,
That's-
it's very hard to move Yoshi because Yoshi has Yoshi. I don't know. I think Yoshi is the intended way to pronounce
you
it.
need to say like a British person, Yoshi.
Yoshi. If you get on Yoshi, he has a lot of speed, and with that speed comes a huge turning radius. I can't do a British accent. I'm sorry. Comes a huge turning radius.
Yeah, and okay, I'm not gonna.
You were trying to attempt it there.
no, okay, sorry, like I don't know why the British accent is just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
At any rate, you can also be in a precise position. If seen Archer doing it, where you can thread through 2 rows of coins and get both because Yoshi extends your 8-box. But it's also pretty finicky. You need to be precise. It's one of those stars where you're not gonna die, but if you do it well, you're gonna save this 2-3 seconds, and then at the end of the day, they can be crucial. It's very important to, in a game, especially in the game where consistencies are to come by, to be consistent with stars like these. Because the worst feeling ever is to nail a lot of precise skips, and then fails this. It's just...
Yeah, and hardcore almost. I think he missed a cycle there, but it isn't that big of a deal, I think. I don't know. Or did he barely get it? It's so hard to even notice that.
Yeah, the strats for this stage are very different based on your level, basically. You can learn 3 different strats. And I must say I'm not familiar with this. 80% isn't my...
Oh, he took damage there. Okay, that's the first huge mistake there.
Yeah.
That's, so... This is historical. First
Making
huge
history here.
Yep.
The first chink in the armor. Now, Viper's gonna need a bit more than a chink in this man's armor.
Yep.
But...
Jinx help, but it's not gonna be enough.
Yup. We'll see if Viper can exploit this in any way.
Yeah, how much was that? 20 seconds in total? Because he had hiccups at the beginning of the start. 25 seconds, maybe.
I'm not sure. We will probably, if Mr. Shadow is in the chat, he probably knows that Shadow is a very big expert of the stage, and has had a lot of experience, studied the stage a lot. It's been a part of his personal life a bit. So I'm pretty sure if the man is here, he will know exactly how much time Archer lost.
Oh well.
That said, Viper is gonna attempt the stage himself, and we will see if he is gonna be able to just to not make the same mistakes.
I don't know if he does the same strats as Hardcore does, but if he does the same strats and executes them perfectly, this will be... yeah, he will... But he does it differently, I think. Right? I don't know. It was around 20. Okay, my guess was right. Good.
Mr. Ginkarber can apply for a Flipsville purple coin mission PhD now.
Yeah, that's one PhD no one would be proud of, I think.
At the University of British Shadow.
British. I love making fun of British people.
Everybody loves making fun of British people.
Yeah.
Come on. Even the British people love making fun of British people.
True. But yeah, Viper has had a very clean Flipswall comment. I don't know if he did slower strats than Hardcore, but let's assume he didn't do slower strats, so he saved around more than 15 seconds on Hardcore.
Yes, and that's gonna be needed if Viper wants any chance of coming back into this race. As we said, Viper's run has been solid, but I'm afraid Hardcore has been playing above and beyond expectations. Which means that the road to the top is very uphill for Viper at the moment, but
what we're witnessing... Yeah, of course, it is first step. So what we're witnessing right now is Viper is one of the top students in an American high school, and then he goes to South Korea attempting to, a math competition. and this is like one of the medium or one of the mediocre Korean students. Hardcore is the one of the more. I don't know where I was going there, but you know what I meant, right?
Okay. All right. I think you lost your tangent about 16 times in the span of a sentence.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired right now.
Also, it is very rude to for you to assume that every Korean is very good at math. I can tell you for a fact that not all of them are.
I know, but it's a stereotype, and stereotypes are fun, right?
Listen. That's like assuming all Austrian people are great at ruining empires. That's not the case. All right. That said, Archer is attempting Starshine Beach. This mission, the first mission, isn't particularly tough. There's a lot of interesting movement with the mission itself, but it is more of a, again, technical star here, where we just use all these movements. Nice usage of the boost from Yoshi there.
Yep, momentum boost. And that was a pretty well executed Starshine Beach one so far. Of course, there's one major shoutouts to Ginkar board dying after getting the Comet Medal.
How did you die after the... Sure.
So there's this crab there, okay? And they have different... crab movement is RNG. I lost 2 health before. I already lost like 30 seconds to... I lost 1 health to the weird eels sticking out of the wall, you know, which protect the Comet Medal. And then I lost 1 health to... I don't know what it was. So I grabbed the Comet Medal, lose 1 health. I'm at 1 health. I'm saying to myself, well, it's fine. And then I get out of the water, and I don't see the crab there. That randomly moved to exactly where I was going out of the water. And then kills me.
Of course.
It's one of the most popular clips on my Twitch. That completely... it didn't kill that run, it obliterated it.
I mean, there's worse clips to have as most popular on your channel. You could have a clip where you throw a controller. I love you, Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh.
Now, that said, Viper is going to attempt the same star. This flutter is, by all means... What the hell? Sorry, somebody had... I heard artillery fire inside or something. Somebody's getting a bit too excited for New Year's. Okay, so Viper both did the flutter quite well. It is definitely the most important part of the star, getting the flutter. And of course, commentator's curse.
Yes.
Now, Archer attempting definitely one of the most frustrating tricks for runners that are learning the game. This is really, really bad. If you don't know how to do it, you don't know the mechanics behind it, you're gonna fail it, and you're gonna realize. But you're not gonna realize anything. You're gonna be like, okay, but what do I do wrong? It's the same series of inputs. It should be simple. It's not.
Yep.
It's one of those things that make people frustrated because they see speedrunners do it, and they're like, well, it looks simple enough, let me try it, and they never get it. It's a great example on how knowledge is paramount to any sort of speedrunning. If you... anything. Knowledge is very, very important.
So... I know this is like shamelessly advertising. Please don't take it as that. This is the very funny clip, and this just shows you what can happen with this game, this cursed thing of a game.
Now, Mr. Archer is now entering Gravity Gauntlet. This level is very notorious for a lot of things being extremely hard sometimes, being very flashy, having a multitude of lava boosts and small strats saves an absolute ton of time, but are also not super easy.
Yep. So this trick has had some research evolving around it. So this is called BTC, which stands for behind the castle, because as you can see, Hardcore is now behind the castle. didn't get the soft. No, not the soft look, but the thing where he dies. I mean, he dies in both negative outcomes, but still.
Yes. If obviously if you have to die, you'd rather die sooner than have to wait 5 seconds for the bounce timer to run out.
Yep. There is a new strat developed by Rothanos, which is called ITC, which is called Inside the Castle, even though you technically still move behind the castle. It's so weird. It's really precise, but it saves a ton of time. Rothanos is the only one going for that strat. And then there's what's this thing again? FTC in front of the castle. That's like the normal lava boost. I don't know why it's called FTC though.
I shall now try to think of a name that's more fitting of such a trick. Listen, that lava boost is iconic. I still have to meet a person that you show that thing for the first time for the person, and they're like, "Ah, this is bad." Everybody's always amazed by that lava boost. We have to get a fitting name for that.
True. That needs to be the new competition after this tournament is over. Competition for a better name rather than lava boost or Nemi boosts.
I mean, Nemi boost for the name of the variant is fine, but we need a name that's like iconic and strikes the idea in the mind of a person that's gonna be an awesome thing.
Yeah. Hocus Pocus boost. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud now. You literally clip through the castle. That's why it's called ITC. Ah, you see the founder of ITC is in chat himself. Was there some strat finder you were going to talk about once the runners go to Gravity Gauntlet? Yeah, that was Rothanos.
Okay, so I just actually talking about strat finder. I still don't know who it is, and I still have to ask for any member of the community to tell me who it is that discovered the nameless lava boost that we're gonna have to try to name now.
It was Nemi.
Because Nemi discovered the original version.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you something really seriously. What kind of drugs was he on when he tried that thing?
I mean, okay, I asked the same question. I literally asked the same question to Viper. And Viper said a somewhat reasonable theory as to how Nemi did find that. Because we know from Galaxy 1 that you can get weird lava boosts from slanted lava balls. Or from lava balls in general. So maybe Nemi was messing around with it. And then he noticed the changing gravity. And when he looked at the world, because Nemi does a lot of research, maybe when he looked at the map or how the galaxy looks in general, he saw that there was maybe potential to skip that. And then he played around with angles, and of course this took a very long time for him, possibly. And that's how he found the strat. But it could of course be possible that he was on some kind of drug. I wouldn't be surprised.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Listen, genius, true, pure, unadulterated genius is always one step away from madness. Always keep that in mind. So, that wouldn't surprise me.
A lot of new viewers coming in. SpeedGaming 4. Welcome everyone. This is the finals. Nemi is the biggest mystery of the Galaxy 2 community. True.
Alright, now, sorry, but that wasn't a proper introduction. For all the speed game... Oh, Viper, that's not how you're supposed to do it. That's a bit unfortunate. It can happen if you're like spacing out a bit, that you added it on the wrong side.
But a missed hit still loses 20 seconds, which is...
Exactly.
Yeah, not that good.
Not what you want if you're already behind. That said,
yep.
Welcome to everybody from SpeedGaming 4. This is the Super Mario Galaxy 2 any% tournament grand final. HardcoreGaming versus SuperViper. Viper is currently behind by about 2 minutes-ish.
A bit more than that now.
Yeah, because of this mistake now. And Archer has been playing really, really well. So far, during the entire run, only one major mistake costing more than 5 seconds-ish. So it is a very, very good run from Hardcore. Viper's been playing solidly, but this is the current situation, and we will see if Hardcore can do the unthinkable and get a big BB, or dare I say even more, today. Regardless, this final is being played as the final match of this incredible tournament. We've had tons of matches, a lot of players in, and we're playing for about 80 euros of prize pool. 50% of this goes to the first place person, and 30% of it goes to the second place. So we will see who will come out on top. For the glory, the prestige, the cold hard cash, and most importantly, the fun. At the end of the day, you do this because you enjoy running it. You don't do this because you're...
Exactly.
Despite all that we can say about the game, it's still, because of it, the game is still a great challenge and a great way to put yourself to the test, which is why a lot of people run it.
Exactly. So we are now two-thirds of the run have gone by. Potentially a bit less than that, depends on how the runs will go from now on. Because yes, Hardcore is on world record pace, on insane pace, but again, I cannot stress this enough. This can all change within a few minutes. We all hope it doesn't, because it's very heartbreaking. Even though it's to be expected, it's still very heartbreaking. Something like that.
Okay, I will mention a few things about the game that the viewers from SpeedGaming haven't heard yet about. 1. This game is extremely brutal. This game looks like a puppy, but bites like a bulldog. Trust me. 2. Some of the hardest skips are in the last world, obviously, because that's part of why it's brutal, and a miss on any of those skips can easily lose you the entire run, or at least the entire team.
Yep.
And 3, obviously, this results in two different things. Hardcore, they are relevant both for Hardcore getting a PB and for the entire race. So Viper can still have a good shot at it, even though he's behind by quite a decent amount. Like you can see Hardcore climbing this entire section without stopping time, because who needs that? Come on, that's slow. Viper getting controlled a bit.
Doesn't get on the platform there. You don't want to ground pound there, because for some reason the developers thought that, yeah, when you ground pound, your hitbox should extend like by 30 million kilometers. So if you ground pound there, you're gonna hit the electric fence. That's what it makes even more.
Yeah.
That's why this is even more painful if you don't get on the platform.
Listen. Mario, you can say Mario's a bit fat, but when he ground pounds, it gets to a whole nother level.
True.
It's really. It's really extensive. Let's just say. I think it's about like almost as big as a spin hitbox, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
Right, Hardcore heading now to Shiverburn. We mentioned in the past that World 5 is not out of Worlds 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5 is probably one of the tamest.
Yeah, but of course there's Shiverburn at the beginning. Of course, okay. If you have score predictions for the second Chimp minigame, please post them in chat, as you will win absolutely nothing if you get it right. By the way, Hardcore just sniped that. Yeah, he sniped that. So everything from 600 up to 1100 is possible. Of course, you can go below that, but that would be very pessimistic. 780, 750, 790, 690, of course, the 690. Oh, you missed that. Okay.
Oh, that could cause a bit of a problem if Hardcore isn't careful. Now, you can afford one of these, especially as a high-level runner that... Oh!
Ooh, it's getting scary, but...
It is getting scary. I think that the nerves are starting to come up.
Yep.
I can fully understand that. Shouldn't be a big problem here. In fact, Hardcore makes it.
Yeah.
Doesn't go for the 690.
It's 780. Okay, Mr. Arska said 790, which is the closest one. No, JWK Tiger 780. Congratulations, you got the score right, and you win absolutely nothing. You
win
get
a
zero.
reminder. You win a reminder to praise the glory of Rome.
Yep.
Which, according to the internet, is the thing that most people think about when their girlfriend thinks, "What is he thinking?" Old lady people, I guess.
I don't get that reference. Then again, I don't have a girlfriend.
Hey, that might be because you have a boyfriend. I can understand that.
No, that's not the case either.
Then you are blessed with the fact you have to deal with another human being.
I know that. I've been in several relationships.
So you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If it's good, it's great. But if it, yeah, let's not get into relationship counseling now. But
Yeah.
we
I mean, we've talked a lot about psychological things, especially you have done that. So why
Yeah.
not just start with relationship issues now
Alright,
that we're already at it?
most psychologically relevant things we've talked about have been in the context of the game. Unless we want to talk about the Mario and Peach's relationship.
We can talk about relationship issues with this game. No.
I guess.
So
do
do you have bad relations with this game? Because I think I know no one who has no bad relations with this game in
Okay,
some
so
way or another.
as with everything, right? I'm gonna just go on a tiny bit of a tangent and talk about Sunshine, which is much worse. It is the extreme version of this game for me. Okay, Sunshine is the equivalent of being with a person that's like schizophrenic, because you have this game which is really fun and engaging and cool to play at times. It's like really cool to quote unquote hang out with. And then there's the day where nothing works, no matter what you try to do, nothing changes. It's just hopeless, right? Some people feel this way about Galaxy 2, but trust me, that's where it heads.
Yep. You have very cool analogies. Okay, so Mr. Arska won this. I don't have you paid attention to the boss fight of Hardcore? Was it good? I
Honestly,
paid attention, man. That
no,
was one of the more important things about this.
I didn't notice any miss cycle, honestly. But then again, did he go for the triple jump?
He probably did.
I think he did.
Okay, can someone like tell us how it went?
No. At any rate, we're gonna comment on Viper's boss fight, and you can deduce how Arcers went from the commentary. Because if you have a clear image of the fight, we can talk about it.
Yep.
Sorry, psychologically interesting stuff. I don't know. Commenting about tournament races, especially with two high-level players, is kind of, I don't know.
Yep.
When nobody makes a mistake, it's kind of like, okay, how do I say this thing?
Yeah, Bint is not the only person who called me a terrorist for some reason, but yeah.
Okay.
I do not want to get into the context of this.
And neither do I. Let's move on. Now, Viper has lost the Cloud Flower. You can still make this jump.
Yeah, he lost it on purpose, by the way. He could have gotten it, but he couldn't. He could have continued with the Cloud power-up, but he lost it. Okay, fight went well, Harker said. That's good. Because that's a fight which can cost you 20 seconds easily. And yep. Okay. This is one cool skip. Okay, got it.
Harker boosting gravity. Viper delaying the first hit on purpose now.
Yeah, to get a more consistent fight, which is a reasonable strat, of course.
You know what you gotta admire in Viper, and I will say this about a lot of runners. Oftentimes it's tempting if you know you're behind, and I can tell you Viper knows at least that this run hasn't been super great, so there is a chance he's behind. his run's been solid, of course, but against Hardcore, there's always a chance they're gonna be behind.
Yep.
Other people might be tempted to try and make the fight, or try and make the strats in general that you do. Try to recover some of the time and go for other strats. That can often lead to a cycle of bad fights, bad movement, etc. It only sinks you further down. And Viper here stuck to his guns. The fight was not as flashy, but it was brilliantly executed. Really, really well done. And sticking to your guns in those situations can be really, really tough, but also really rewarding. Because at the end of the day, if you know the strat, that's all you've been doing. You take a very big risk switching
Again, this is still not over. Viper, as you said, has been clinging to his more consistent strategies. And if he's gonna keep doing that, there is still a pretty good chance that he's gonna be able to catch up in some places, especially at the beginning of World 6, which features Melty Monster 1, S, and 2, which all three of them are ruthless. Probably at least if you're on top level, probably the hardest ones.
Melty Archer with a rare blip there.
Yep.
Not too bad, but if you know we're gonna resort to small gravity flip mistakes to comment on this, you know Archer's been pretty flawless for the entire game.
Yep.
Save a few things.
Wasn't even 5 seconds if he doesn't mess up this section. Crazy man. Now I'm starting to feel a bit nervous about this. Because, you know, I've been watching hardcore since summer. And you get a bit emotionally, as weird as it sounds, you get a bit emotionally attached if you've been watching a man grinding a game like this to its knees.
Listen, it's not weird at all. Alright? We all have friends. At the end of the day, if you have a person that does speedruns and you know when you watch your stream and they interact with you, etc. Especially if you share the fellow, like, they share a link, they share a passion, it is normal to get that sort of attachment. At the end of the day, it's a friendship first and foremost. Alright? So, it's perfectly understandable, and I think a lot of people would be really happy if Hardcore got a really good one. Not gonna say anything else. That entrance for in Pipe was brilliant, and
yep. Now the second box minigame.
Which you might notice, there's a lot of boxes here. Now, I like to comment that what this gamer says is like something like this is the end point of all the trash in the galaxy. If this is the entire trash that mankind produced, dude, we've really gone far. Because mankind produces a lot of trash.
Yep. Oh, he misses 2 boxes there, loses in like 2-3 seconds, I don't know. Ginkgo loves Watchmen grinding. I think you took that out of context, Flagon.
Out of context. Yes. To be perfectly honest, I was thinking about the same thing, but it was polite enough not to say Kipo. Alright.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird. My English isn't my most efficient language. I think I'm 10 times more efficient with French. So sometimes I just say stuff which doesn't make any sense, and then it sounds weird, and only.
It made perfect sense. It's the twisted mind of an American, and
okay.
And of a, in my case, person that's been in too many places to call anything their own by now. So, understandable. Viper getting through this section as well, slowing down a tiny bit before, but then recovering the time at the end, so it ends up being even with Hardcore.
Yep.
Hardcore re-entering the stage.
Misses a long jump there. Wow.
after the route switch, this stage has been the cause of a lot of grief for some players because you need to not mash on entrance, but to actually select the stage. If you mash an entrance here, you're gonna go in the wrong stage and you're not gonna get the hidden star. But Blue Moon 2.
Yep.
And Blue Moon 2 is about as long as having to wait for, I don't know, people compiling your tax forms. So it takes quite a bit, and it's faster to exit level and re-enter this one, but that takes about 30 seconds. And that's not a fun time.
Nope, it is not. And it has happened to hardcore before. I think.
Listen, there's no worse feeling in speedrunning to have to sit through something that where you've lost time and you cannot do anything about it. You're just sitting there like, dude, why was I so stupid? It's just really bad.
Oh, look at that, SpeedGaming français. Alors, il me faut parler un peu de français pour quelques secondes. Bienvenue pour tout le monde qui vient de SpeedGaming français. Maintenant, on a un tournament. C'est le final. Le final, je sais pas. Yeah, welcome everyone. I had to say a few words in French there, you know, just to flex a bit.
I can say a few words in Dutch, but I don't want to destroy everybody's eardrums.
I know a few words in Dutch.
No, seriously. As a person that's happily living in the Netherlands for now, the Dutch language is the language that's the least aesthetically pleasing to the ears that I've ever heard.
Do you think so?
Bad. It's so bad, sorry.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of Dutch. It's funny. The language is just funny. I don't think is it aesthetically not pleasing? I mean, in a sense of when you listen to it, it grinds your ears.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's something else. All right. Let's just stop at that. Hardcore is now murdering a series of enemies, which.
Oh yeah.
I would say they've done nothing to deserve it, but missing one of them in this level multiple times is just as frustrating as it gets. So.
Yep, and he missed one of them, but it didn't cost him much. So.
No, it's just annoying. It's one of those things where it's like, really,
yeah,
you really have to do this.
It's like backflipping instead of long jumping. That's the same kind of feeling. It doesn't lose you a lot, but it's just super annoying.
Interrupts your flow, so you're like, come on, get on with it.
Yep.
Now Archer will be entering Boom Bunker. Which
Oh,
is
Viper missed the checkpoint. Let's just hope he doesn't die here. Because if he dies, it's gonna be a lot of.
I would say if he dies, the chances for his win go into the point decimal level.
Yep.
So
still not zero. Still not zero.
Still not zero, but let's say we don't want to get this package wrapped up yet.
Yep.
Oh,
Also, Hardcore is now leaving after this boss. He's leaving World 5 forever. And he will enter World 6, which I'm most scared about. But yeah, this cannon shot can be very weird because... Oh yeah, okay. We got it. That's very unfortunate. I was about to say, that was common commentator curse. That was 100% commentator curse right there, because I just wanted to talk about that.
No,
because
it's a reverse commentator's curse, like or even like psychic commentator's curse. You think about it and it happens.
So the angle for that shot, for that cannon shot, is more precise than you think it is, because if you aim a bit too far at the top or to the right or to the left of the enemy, you can still kill the enemy but retain your speed and not slow down and still kill and still end up dead. Oh, and that was the mistakes keep racking up. The mistakes keep racking up. Another bad common cannon shot there. That's it's still not a minute. in total.
No, but it keeps building up, and
Yep, and that's another one.
and
So
that's
now it's a minute, I think. Ah, it keeps racking up. That's so unfortunate. It was even before World 6. Oh, okay, he just
Hardcore
gave up
going for this.
completely.
For the super. See, this is what I mean, but it can be tough to change strategies in the middle of a run. It's something that you have to take very seriously. Now,
So,
okay.
oh, man, that's so unfortunate, man. My heart just broke a bit there. Broke apart.
But let's talk about the man who stands to profit from all of this, because we were talking a few
Yep.
seconds ago about Viper potentially dying and his chances of winning going into the point decimal range. Well, guess what? I think they got back to double digits with this, because he's not that far away now.
Yep.
And we have mentioned it, Viper, experienced runner, very consistent, knows what he's doing, tournament experience, he's got buckets of it, so he probably has less of a chance to buckle a bit under pressure. And we've seen Arthur doing this now. I hope for his sake that he's gonna be able to get some confidence back, not let this get to his head, because if it happens, that's not gonna be pleasant for him. Especially with Viper hot on his heels.
Okay, Viper, okay, got the first cannon shot, so that's already 25 seconds saved, I think? 20, 25, I don't know.
Well, yes. Okay, so Archer's now the boss fight ahead, basically. Or just a bit more than the boss fight. We'll see if Viper
Yeah,
gets the shot.
okay, and he gets the shot.
Okay, shot.
Okay, in the last long jump, that can also be tricky sometimes. Got it, okay, well,
I think Viper's just saved himself a bit more than a minute. And that brings him back into the minute-ish range, minute and a half range, I guess.
yep.
Arcor's New World message 221.10. We will time it with Viper to see what's the time delta of them. At this point,
I think it's still a bit more than 1 minute, though. Like,
yeah, I'm like
I think
between
he
a minute
still
and 2
has.
minutes.
There's still a bit more leeway, but you know, Melty Monster's coming up. Oh god, Melty Monster. And of course, Gravity Gauntlet Comet. There's just so much stuff coming up still. I'm starting to tremble now just because of Melty Monster. Like this galaxy can screw you over so much. It's
This
incredible.
galaxy. Okay, just so you get a taste of what you're expecting. This galaxy is the lava world. Obviously, we're getting to level 6, world 6, sorry, and what that means is, for Mario terms, lava. Lots of it.
Mhm.
This stage has sections in which you're somewhat forced to be on no HP, hanging around walls of lava, which obviously doesn't really help. A final section with planets that are so small the gravity well changes if you jump, basically.
Yep.
Which can be extremely finicky. Jump skips in the bowling mission, which are extremely hard to perform. And the bowling section, which can bounce you off into nothingness for reasons unknown to man and nature.
Yep. So we will see that after this star. But whoever programmed the yellow barriers, they must have spent like less than a minute on programming them because they're so bad.
Archer of 1 HP, and I think
Yep.
the cycle is not very promising now for the tornadoes. Okay, no, it's still doing.
No.
Oh. No, you gotta like.
Oh,
Oh god, that was so. And he does he go for the coin?
he
does go for the coin.
Okay, thank God.
Okay,
Oh my
now.
God. I'm getting very attached to this.
Okay, I didn't check the Viper's time for entering the world, but it should be about.
Yeah.
It should be about 1 minute and a half.
He grabs the comet medal.
This is the section which can cause a lot of problems. Okay. See, a lot of people complain about the fact that if you jump, you cannot kill that thing, the crystal. It's not because the crystal is badly programmed, but because if you jump, the game, since the planet is so small, when you jump, you have also a significant component of the jump away from the crystal.
Yep.
Which is not a factor that's immediately apparent to a lot of people, but it is a thing, so it has to be taken into account. Okay, 224. I'm gonna try to keep be mindful of this now. 224, black screen before pot split cutscene. If you see Viper entering with the time, just remind me.
So entering the what?
The black screen before the path cutscene.
Okay,
was 224.20 for Arco.
224.20. Okay.
We see now Viper is breezing through this section now. Arco is gonna have to deal with Melty Monster 2. Now,
yeah.
The worst thing ever for Arco now would be to get that glitch, because it's something that you have limited control over, obviously.
No control, basically. I mean, the most control you have over it is to avoid the barriers altogether where you can.
In my experience, if you're holding neutral before it and then start holding a direction, it's worse. But that's just my experience.
Oh, okay.
And I fiddled around with it quite a bit because of for green stars I started doing intended strat for green star 3, so I grinded my way a bit there, and from my experience, if you hold neutral and then hold a direction, that's way more likely to happen. We'll see.
Got it.
It can still happen.
Okay, Viper is entering the black screen at 2:25:53, so 1.5 minutes, basically. Okay. 1.5 minutes. Okay, please, come on.
Or just do the
Good. And now Melty Monster S is still coming up. Do you think Viper will go for ramp skips? I've seen him going for it before, but no.
We will see. Viper might deem it necessary in this matchup. I can understand if it's any other matchup he thinks I can out consistency somebody.
Yeah.
But with Arco, I think he needs to go that bit of an extra mile. You know what I mean? It's understandable either way, but I think if he's confident in them enough to be like, it's high risk, but also high reward, I should do it. We're gonna see what we're talking about just now. Arco enters the pipe.
So this is like probably the most inconsistent thing in this whole run. This what you're about to see. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you again.
You have to get 5,000 points to get 100 points per pin you hit. And normally, what the game does if you take a ramp is there's an invisible wall after the ramp that kills the boulder, where you can restart the boulder process, etc. If you do a ramp skip, which is just a series of impacts, that was extremely well executed from Arco. If you do Viper going for the barriers there.
Yeah.
If you do a ramp skip, what you can do is just alter the trajectory of the jump so that you don't hit that invisible wall and keep on going with the boulder. However, that's very risky because if you miss it, you die.
Yep.
It saves quite a bit of time, but it's also an extremely risky strategy.
And the fact that Hardcore got the ramp skips there all in a row was very, very good, to say the least. So, I don't know if world record is still alive. I might even think that it still is. Let me just check. This really is interesting to me. No, it's not. It's not. It's absolutely not. But personal best is still very alive. So, that's the thing.
We will see. Again, regardless, PB is important, but what's more important, let's not forget, is first and foremost a race. So.
Yep, of course. Yeah, let's not get too attached to that.
Oh, Archer
And-
having a bit of a blip there.
Oh, yeah, that sucks when that happens. Okay, Viper. I mean, there are ramp skips which are easier than others. That's why Viper is going for some of. Oh, that was close. Ah. 2 ramp skips. And 3 ramp skips.
Still, pretty good
2 ramp
effort from
skips.
Viper.
Yep.
It's a bit less. It was not flowing as easily as with Hardcore, but it's still a very respectable effort, especially for a runner that doesn't necessarily go for the strat as often. So that's pretty remarkable there.
Yep.
Hardcore dealing with Flash Black, the Galaxy with the most useless gimmicks for speedrunners. I mean, you can you can remove the light all you want. I already know where the platforms are, so.
Yep. But nonetheless, for casual playthrough, it's pretty interesting.
Yes.
Oh. Small mistakes.
Starting to ramp up a bit. I have to mention this particular stage is also the home of the absolutely remarkable and totally not generic flutter, to which I've given a cool name for no reason, which is. I don't even remember the name I gave to it now. That's hilarious. Okay, it was something that. Oh, wait a second, let me think about it. Oh, yeah, the Forbidden Flutter. Because in Green Stars, you flutter here. But
Yeah, I know. You flutter until the very end where the green star is, right?
yes. But the problem with that flutter is that the angle needs to be 90 degrees. And a lot of people don't know how to get the perfectly straight flutter. Hence the Forbidden Flutter name.
But isn't it? Wait, that's not hard, right?
No, that's not hard. It's not even particularly difficult. This is just a meme. They're giving it a weird name.
Oh, okay, got it.
See, this is the reverse of the Nemi boost, where it has a cool name, but it's super easy and not impressive at all.
Yeah.
Now Viper dealing with Flash Black himself. Both players will have to return to this stage in order to complete the game.
And Hardcore is now entering a very a star where he can relax a bit. Or yeah, both of them
Sleepy
will.
spraying.
Sleepy spraying, yes. Resident sleeper.
I have to say, if you think the stars are to stay awake in any percent, try to win it in the 602. Then we can talk. This coming up at the very end of with the chimp challenge as well. This coming up. It's like 22 hours in, at least for me.
Yep.
You have to do the green stars as well. Like, oh, dude.
Yep.
Because the heights of gameplay reached in this stage are never before or after seen in any other Mario game. Oh no, wait, Lake Kingdom in Odyssey. Still, Lake Kingdom is 1,000 times more interesting.
Yep. But I still really adore the aesthetics of this. Like, say whatever it is boring maybe, but as for a casual playthrough, this is still a cool galaxy, you know?
And the music is perfect for the stage.
Yep.
The ambient is great. Right? So, we'll now go on an advert.
A word from our sponsors. Yeah, we're sellouts.
Word from our sponsors. People who sponsor the prize pool.
I think I contributed 20 euros to the prize pool. I think.
Yes, my wonderful Twitch community donated and otherwise contributed with, I think, I need to get the exact number, because then I rounded it up to 80 for the prize pool, but it was like 78 something euros.
Okay.
which I met with it, were also other donations from the viewers. There were about 20 euros. I can read the names if need be. And the donation from Rocks, I think. So thank to all the people that contributed to the prize pool for the tournament. You are really amazing, and it was wonderful to see this game get recognition at the end of the day, because it's been it's a really interesting game, really cool, really punishing and brutal, but amazing strats, amazing players, really interesting to watch. The tournament adds so many upsets, it's actually incredible. Upsets and close upsets, actually. Like, it's crazy to think that at some point, I'm gonna say this, and then like give you an idea of how much this game can ebb and flow. The player getting 3rd place was almost basically not kicked out, but the player getting 3rd place was almost dropped with like 4th seed into the bracket phase in a group match, and there were so many players that absolutely exceeded the expectations, took the call and started improving in an extremely fast pace throughout the tournament. That was amazing. Now Hardcore is finally done with Sleepy Spring and will now start collecting 30 coins through the Clockwork Ruins. Now, his gameplay for the first 2 hours has been pretty clockwork, but now chinks are starting to show. We will see if the precise mechanical movements of the gears will be matched by the player.
Also, this star right after Slimy Spring is like the perfect oxymoron.
Yes. It's not even... This game cannot be high-octane because it's not in the nature of the movement of the game. But this is just going from 0 to 100 in terms of technical really quick. Really quick.
Especially if you're doing the strats that Hardcore does.
Yes. Or even honestly, even if you're a player that's as good level strats, it's still extremely impressive. Not necessarily top level. Now this is one of the only stage, I think that's the only stage in any percent where mission number 1 is not done. Because this is a really interesting fact about the game that a lot of people that play casually knew about. You can proceed through the map after completing the secret star in a galaxy. You don't have to complete the main mission. And this fact is used here because the main mission of Clockwork Ruins 1 is, let's just say, it takes a while. I could probably go... I could probably...
bad, but yeah.
I could probably make a plate of pasta in the time that it takes a new player to complete the mission, so...
Well, you have an advantage because you're Italian. Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
Stereotypes. Oh my god, okay.
Viper with a save. Viper with a save there. And... now we are going with Hardcore to Womp Fortress. That was name, right? Womp Fortress.
Yep. So
Throwback Galaxy.
we're going to 64 here. There's another strat that Hardcore will do here, I think, because he's completely insane. The Womp Clip.
Yes, the Womp Clip.
If you die, you lose so much time. Yeah. So this right here.
from your commentator: if you die, you die.
He didn't get the clip, but he didn't die, so that's good.
So just to give you an idea on how that works, what you want to do is not get squashed by the thwomp, but still gain its downward momentum so that you can clip through the ground, and in the process, skipping the death animation and the gate opening part, which is not that much of a time save, honestly. Hardcore gaming about with the
4 seconds or 8 seconds.
For the risk, it is. For the
It's
risk
not
it
worth
carries, it's not a lot.
Yep.
So this is a death. There is easily 20 seconds, 25 seconds. You just have to get the combat and all that. So. Now, both players have been playing quite well now. Viper is still keeping on Archer's heels. And we'll see if Archer is able to keep the run together for the end of this race.
I mean, the worst parts have already been over. Like, Gravity Gauntlet Comet is still coming up, but the worst part of the run is still over.
Is still up. Which is the last big obstacle. Obviously, I'm saying this not because the flutter itself is hard, which it is, but to a high-level player, it's not something you expect to fail too often.
Yep.
However, when you get in there with the pressure of potential PB, potential race win, and prize pool, and all these factors, the hands can start to shake a bit, and so does your confidence. So, Viper there with a cool triple jump to get up.
Okay, still got up. So Viper will not go for the womp clip. I mean, it's off cycle, but still, I mean, it's a crazy thing to do, to be honest. But yeah. Now, throwback 2 is you use the power, the cloud power up again to your advantage. You have to collect 5 silver stars, and yeah, we will see some cool cloud jumps with this. Cloud momentum abusement, I guess. Not abusement, but exploit. I don't know.
Listen, we're just using the game, the means that the game gives us, so it's an exploit.
Okay.
It's not a glitch.
So then gravity abusement would also be gravity exploit.
Yes.
Where do you draw the line? Now we're getting philosophical.
Where the mechanic is not intended. No, sorry, not where the mechanic you use to do the thing you're doing that's not intended. It's not intended at all.
Double non-intended.
Yes. So, for instance, a wall clipping using like a bump clip is a glitch because the fact that you gain the momentum is not intended, and the means by which you gain the momentum or the action you do is clipping is also not intended. But for instance, the cloud thingy, the fact that you can long jump is intended, and the fact you can spawn a cloud is intended. It's the combination of the things that causes a mechanic that's not intended. But by itself, you're just doing stuff that the game makes sense.
You're getting really technical here.
Yes, for no reason at all. So,
but it's cool. Yeah, Ro, we say gravity abusement and not gravity abuse because of a certain guy in this very chat who has used the word abusement instead of abuse. In his channel trailer.
let's just add the suffix meant to everybody and everything.
What's oh yeah, meant.
That's making everything an adverb, basically. Or
yeah.
Okay, so Archer is performing an entrancement into the level.
Entrancement, yeah, and now we will do the lava boostment.
Oh, losing a bit of momentum there.
Mint.
Moment.
So he will do the ground pound mint, and then the
So
and then
silly,
he didn't die. That wasn't a death mint. Don't worry.
Viper is completing throwback 2 now.
By the way, that ending section there was really cool by Hardcore.
Yes, Archer was really, really fast there. Now, Archer is in a section of the game that's called the cleanup mint.
Ah yeah, the cleanup mint, of course.
Which just consists of the complete mint of numerous stars mint.
Hey Diamantos, we totally weren't talking about your use of gravity abusement in your channel trailer. Okay, so yeah, I think you already mentioned that, but Hardcore is doing backtrackment, which consists of a bunch of comet ments.
Which are slightly edited editions of the levels meant.
Now you're not even trying anymore.
No, I'm not even trying anymore. I already gave up on the idea. Listen, I help you so often admit that I have an idea, alright? And I just immediately gave up on it. I immediately gave up on it, but you kept it alive, so I just rolled with it. Sometimes I have ideas that are stupid, don't I? And Hardcore getting all the oh, he's missing a coin now. He missed 1 coin so far.
That's good. Oh, 2 coins?
I mean,
92 coins is still good. 92 coins.
Let's
is
just
still
say
good.
that there's not.
Oh, he's been cocky with this, but it paid off. And Viper missed. Ooh.
That's pretty tough for Viper. Now,
Yeah.
Viper needed to be pretty much flawless at this point. Now everything can still on the table, but
yeah, but considering that the rest of the cleanups aren't very hard, it really comes down to Galaxy Generator, basically. I think it's safe to say that.
Yep.
Okay, didn't clip through the ground. Good. Okay, so second try. It's alright. Yeah, they're both doing great. Like, Viper's run is still good.
Viper's run was pretty solid, honestly. Hardcore has just played extremely well for the first 2 hours.
Hardcore's run is still insane, even with that 1 minute time loss. It's still super good. He may be getting a 58, a 258 if he plays everything super well. I don't know about his PPT though. No. I'm sorry. I'm bad at guessing.
Now, this level, Bontiol's Comet, its parent is Bontiol's 2, and they're called Comet. They're called Long Jump Central for a reason.
Yep, Long Jump Central. I've always heard Long Jump Simulator.
I mean, the entire game is Long Jump Simulator. This is just Long Jump Central.
Yeah, that's what they all say, but that's the stigma that the SMG community doesn't want to have.
Indeed. Indeed, I guess you could say that.
Because whenever there's talks about, hey, why don't you try out SMG, and everyone's saying no, it's just long jumping all the time. Don't want to do that.
Yeah,
no, it's more than that. I swear, it's more than that.
I don't know. I always get a bit confused with people who claim that because like, well, then Super Mario 64 is just diving all the time. That's the thing you do to move fast in a straight line. That doesn't mean that the game is just moving fast in a straight line.
Yeah, but it's just a stigma concerning 3D Mario game, the 3D Mario speedrunning.
I guess every game has its own thing. Maybe Sunshine is the only one that's immune to it because it's very complex. And even moving in a straight line you can gain a lot of time if you know what you're doing. Let's just leave it at that.
It's all long jumps, just long jumps, exactly. But yeah, if you want to learn SMG1, you only need to press 2 buttons. Nothing more.
CNA.
Okay. I hope Hardcore doesn't spin bonk. It can still happen. Okay, he still was on the ground.
He could still jump there.
Yep. Yeah, Mario's hitbox is very forgiving. Luckily.
Also, do keep in mind that you can technically jump off of a surface, off one of those cubes after the cube has disappeared because the...
Oh yeah, like for a few frames, right?
Yes, because the collision disappears after the cube.
Yep.
So it's something that can happen. Also, Viper going through the boo there.
Yeah, like when the boos appear, they don't have any hitbox.
Yes, 8-box only gets at the end. So there's a bunch. It's cool that these two things have happened at the same time, like these two quote-unquote hitbox exploit or collision exploit.
So last 2 backtrack stars for Hardcore. This is the easier one, arguably.
Yes, and then there is Fleck Comet, which is a surprisingly technical star. Another one of those stars where if you know what you're doing, you can save a lot of time against a person that's playing it casually or in a runner
Yep.
that's just starting up. Because there's a lot of ins and outs, and these are like, actions that are very star specific, like the usage of Yoshi at the end, and how to manage your star bits when killing hordes of enemies.
Yep. And
All these
also,
things.
because the camera changes, you kind of sometimes, in some places, you need to shoot the star bits in different places where they still end up hitting the Goombas, the Yucca Goombas, sorry.
Yeah, let's not forget also that the enemies move around a bit as well, and
Yep.
like their hitbox can also change a bit. So it's very, very technical, and it definitely rewards a player that's willing to look into the levels and go the extra mile to learn the level to a high standard, because then you kind of reward with time save basically over a person that's not that.
Yep.
And it's one of those fascinating levels that are very, I don't know, it feels one of the most... I like these kind of obscure levels in a way, where you have these things that are very not apparent immediately, so you have to do your research. It's one of my favorite parts of speedrunning.
Yep. So yeah, a very, very interesting level. We'll
Yes,
be able to see that.
And we hope that Hardcore will have a good showing in the level.
Yeah,
So that we
and
can-
the
we can-
most... Sorry, yeah. The most common death here is at the very end, getting pushed off mid-air with Yoshi. It just happens so many times, so let's just hope it doesn't happen. Because those Octogoombas, they might seem stupid, but they can snipe if they want. And when they do, they can lead to a very painful death. So yeah, as you see right now, Hardcore isn't spinning at the enemies, he isn't jumping on the enemies, he's stunning them with the star bits. Because that way, he doesn't lose speed while attacking them. Just jumping on them and spinning at them loses speed. Sometimes he still spins at them if the star bit doesn't arrive fast enough, just for safety measures. Okay, if he was mid-air there, he would have fallen off.
Yes.
That was scary. Alright, but that was beautifully executed other than that damage
Yes.
at the end there. Very, very good star. And this is one of the stars where you really have to pull out your skill or everything that you've learned with that stage to really get a good one, to really get a good time there.
Yes. And this is the final hurdle before the final Bowser.
Yep. So Hardcore is on insane pace. Everything under 3 hours and 3 minutes in this game is already super amazing, and this guy is on low to 59 pace, which is unbelievable.
Most important skip of the game, done.
Oh yeah, purple idiot skip.
Now, if you've watched this game a bit before, you know what we're talking about. If not,
Yep.
cutscenes, you can skip the trigger by clicking directly on the final level, and it skips a lot of talking by Lubba, which is, well, always talking, hence the name.
Mm.
Showing who Lubba is the wonderful fellow behind Viper right now.
Yep. And he's annoying as hell. He always talks to Mario, even though he's clearly annoyed by him. Or it, them, I don't know. No, Lava is male. Yeah, we found that out like, a few tournament races ago.
Alright, now, this final Gauntlet level is just a great show for the game and all the capabilities of the players, because there's everything from lava boosts to precise jumps to momentum
cloud jumps,
exploits.
cloud momentum jumps, Yoshi flutters.
It truly feels like a final level even in the speedrun, which is really cool.
Yep.
Because you have to use everything you know, every single little piece of tech from the game.
Yep.
ends
There's
up
3D sections, 2D sections. Technically, there's an auto scroller, but you know,
But we don't do that, that's slow.
we kind of end up skipping all that.
Hardcore there being very, very aggressive with the jump. Hardcore is probably informed about the pace, but right now more concerned with... Alright, still able to make it with one cloud.
So now the hardest flutter comes up. Not the hardest one in the game, but... You know, Hardcore is under a lot of pressure right now, so... Let's not jinx anything, right? Okay.
Now.
So first flutter is getting up to that wall, and Hardcore is using... Ah!
Oh.
He's backtrack. Okay. He's playing it safe.
The momentum
Okay,
got killed there. And
he now goes for the more consistent strat by doing the flutter where Yoshi faces in the other direction. And now this is the last hard part of the run. And if he gets that, I think it's safe to say that he's gonna PB. He's a bit high. Okay, got it.
Top shelf,
okay, he even got
nonetheless.
top shelf. Okay, this is it. This is a wonderful PB to end off the tournament. Of course, it's still not over, but...
Don't jinx it, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Viper had a bit of a boulder problem in the fight, so...
Yep.
Let's not rush to conclusions. It's looking very, very good for Hardcore at the moment, for PB, for the tournament win, for a sub-3, which, if I am correct, would be the first sub-3 in a race, correct?
Yep. And
Which,
maybe even
considering-
for the only ever.
Which, consider this, when I named the challenge page
I
for the
was about
tournament,
to say.
I called the road to sub-3.
And the road ends here in the final. Oh my god.
That would
You're
be absolutely amazing.
You predicted it.
Listen, I remember one time where I told, I think Hardcore, like, oh, yo, Galaxy Sum of Best is gonna be sub 220 before 2019. Before the end of 2020, I think was. And he's like, nah, there's no way. This was back in like 2017 or 2018. I was wrong by 2 seconds.
Oh really?
It was 220.02, I think. So, the community Sum of Best. Now, of course, now we have all the other stuff. And,
it's now standing at a 215, right? Yeah, 215. Just crazy.
because of UBC, so.
Yep.
And obviously the improvements. Now Hardcore entering the second phase of the fight.
Okay, having made no mistakes so far, I think he got the punch cancel at the beginning. Viper is now at the thing.
Viper's now attempting the final flutter.
Wait, is Viper on PB? Wait, no, I think he isn't, right?
I think he isn't. That's listen. If Hardcore is in 259 phase, that would be like 301 phase, which is still, again, extremely good.
Yep.
It's incredible. Also, that was top shelf by about 6 miles.
Yep. That was
okay,
about
Viper.
that was about as top shelf meant it gets.
Yes. Alright. So we're not gonna do the meme or make you think that the run is over now, because it isn't. It's been overstayed and overdone, and
yeah, I think we're all tired of that.
yes.
Time for the only joke. Time for the only joke the SMG2 community holds. Oh, he's gonna grab the star. He's gonna get world record.
Oh no! Is this a secret ending?
Oh no, we ended up doing the joke anyways, but not with a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah, and it's not really a joke if you know in advance. It's like
Yeah,
common,
but-
so.
But the chat continues the tradition.
Alright.
You're beating a dead horse.
I think that the horse by now is being so much that the corpse is gone by now. All that remains is a puddle of blood and a mouth skeleton.
Oh god.
Alright, but regardless of that, Hardcore is about to complete the final hit on Bowser, and that's gonna be I think 259 to X. Not even sure if is that a PB at the end of the day.
That's a personal best. Yep.
All right, and that is absolutely amazing. Aleus the Prophet coming in clutch again with the
Yep. Road to
tournament
sub
page.
3. I can't believe it. Actually, you were actually right. Oh, the alerts are on. Oh. Well,
Also-
okay. Might as well just donate a bit. Sorry.
It's very easy to forget that they're on, so it
Yep.
can happen. Run invalid, Viper wins.
Super Viper is gonna win. Oh well, I predicted Hardcore to win. I'm one of the. I mean, the minority wasn't really that small of a minority, but it's
It
okay.
was-
I'm gonna
At the end
mark
of the day,
it's
it
finished.
was somewhat of a toss-up, and even the players agreed that it was very
Yep.
close between them in a race.
Yep.
But Archer pulling out the run of a lifetime.
True.
This time in a race is absolutely insane.
Yep. And I think Hardcore is happy about that, even with that 1 minute of time loss. And he's closer than ever to that world record.
Yes, it is. It is still an extremely impressive time. It is absolutely amazing, considering
Yeah.
it's a race and everything.
Yeah, especially in that case. Then Hardcore is now breathing down Nemi's neck. He's won the tournament, and now the bigger challenge begins. But yeah, Viper now entering the last boss phase.
Now, we're gonna have Viper entering this, shooting his final for Starbits but bigger.
Yeah.
And he's gonna end up with still a 301, which for a race time, it's again extremely impressive. It's Viper has done a lot of things through the tournaments, been playing a lot of matches. Very consistent, absolutely amazing player. He knew he was gonna be in it to win it, and despite losing to Hardcore is nothing to be
Ashamed of, yep.
It is. It has been a hell of a ride for Viper, and again, it still gets, a second place prize for his efforts. And now, one last thing before we're gonna ask players for the interview.
Oh yeah, of course, the interview is coming up, right?
Yes, I'm gonna send the invite.
Yeah, it automatically gets sent when I mark them as finished. So when I already... Okay, now I can mark both of them as finished, so they should be coming in.
Okay. Either way, I wanted to say that our prize pool of 80 euros is gonna, as a 5% component, which isn't much by itself, but it could get added to any of the players who already won something. That's gonna be decided by a vote in the Discord. At least partially by vote in the Discord. We're gonna have a commission of players and other members that are not up for the...
What's going on?
Yo, Viper. Small, quick time announcement. And people will be able to vote for the player that they believe has done the best throughout the tournament. That's gonna be available for all the players that made it to the bracket stage. And a group of players will end up deciding on whoever is gonna get the extra 5%. But the people are gonna have their voice with a vote on the Discord too. So if you're in there or a past player in the tournament and you want it, you just look forward to that poll. It's gonna come up pretty soon. And now I think we have Viper here already. Do we also have Hardcore?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yep.
do.
Hardcore is also here.
Alright, so congratulations, Hardcore, for the win.
I'm gonna be honest. I was not looking at the SpeedGaming stream or the SpeedGaming chat. Not looking at my own chat. I literally was just focusing on my own gameplay for basically the entire race, and then I go to hit done once I hit the final Bowser hit, and I see that Hardcore finish with the sub 3, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I didn't stand a chance.
So again, kudos to Hardcore for the performance. Kudos to you, Viper. This is still an extremely respectable time. And
Yeah, this is a good run. That was a decent run for me, aside from those 2 deaths.
Yeah. What are your comments? Let's start with you, Viper.
No
How was
idea what
it?
happened on flips. No idea what really happened with either death, honestly. I was trying to do a spin long jump in flip swap, and it just didn't work for some reason.
Oh yeah, that was so weird. But
And then I managed to back it up with the that failed first super jump that I managed to back up. I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Yep.
I don't know what happened in Gravity Gauntlet Comment either. It was just weird. I actually thought I was gonna fail it a second time, but then I got lucky. I don't really know. I don't even remember much else about this run. There was just a few small mistakes. First finished run with JPVC, I'll give it that.
Yep, it was overall still a very decent run overall.
Yeah,
so.
but obviously, apparently, it wasn't enough.
Yeah,
Was it at least a close race? I want to know that. Was it at least somewhat close?
yeah, we can.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but no. I think Hardcore was always a minute ahead, at least a minute. Was only the beginning, and of course, when Hardcore lost over a minute in a boom bunker, it's Elias raised your chances of winning to double digits. But other than that, it really wasn't that close.
It was really, really a great performance from Hardcore. As I said during the race, like Hardcore is ahead by what it was at the time, I think 2 minutes. And the thing is, Viper's run is good. It's not a bad run at all. It's not fantastic, but it's a good run. It's a solid run. I think that if we asked you before the race, would you take a 301 for X as your finish time? You'd be like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. It's not a bad time at all, right?
And I'm not really upset about my performance at all. I'm just, I'm not even disappointed, honestly. I saw that and I'm just like, yeah, I should have seen that coming.
No, that's not the case, Viper. You're super consistent, and with a 301.47, you could have won if there were more slip-ups by Hardcore.
Yeah,
so
you would have won. You would have won every other race against me except for the last one.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
and I can't even say I have the best time in this tournament anymore. But I think this is appropriate for grand finals. That sub 3 ends up being the final result. I think that's appropriate. So I'm overall happy about it.
Yes, I said I was prophetic calling the tournament the challenge page. Zero to sub 3. That said, let's hear a bit from our winner, Hardcore. Now, how do you feel about this run and the fact that despite having that arguably not fantastic boom bunker, you still got...
I wasn't watching. What happened? Did you just like miss the first cannon shot or something?
No, I got the boomerang bro, but I was like slightly too high and was...
I hate when that happens.
Got sent into the abyss. And then on the next cannon shot, I forgot to remember that the cycles were different after you die. So I was a little stupid and I had like 2 more times there. Until I went.
Yeah, I don't even remember if anything else. That save on Chompworks 1 though, that's the only other thing I remember about this run. And dig a leg.
I almost died in Cloudy Court. You would have been ahead there, I think.
Well, maybe.
Cloudy Court 1.
Where did you almost die in Cloudy Court 1?
When I did on the last section, when I did the boosted long jumps, I did the long jump up.
Oh yeah. I remember. You barely got onto the ledge. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
But other than that, this run was surprisingly good for me.
It was absolutely great, and this definitely... People already knew about it, but this is a PB, right? Just asking for confirmation because I'm not 100% sure.
By 16 seconds.
It's a
GG's
PB
on that.
in a race, and you've lost a minute in a silly way by your own admission. So if there were any doubts before that Nemi could go down, they're gone now, 100%. I think you thought that this is a long time coming because you've been grinding this for 6 months. King have said like you've been in this for so long. can see it. You can basically touch it now. You know, do not expect it next run, but it's definitely possible. So
I also had a run like this yesterday, but it died, or like got worse than 90 minutes and then died in Gravity Gauntlet.
Oh yeah. Okay, what was my comment on that one?
Oh yeah, it's worse than a divorce.
Like the exact words were like, "I've seen divorces go bad."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right. That was the right wording.
So
That's
such
a
a
weird
good way to
analogy.
phrase it. But it's a good one.
listen, Viper. I have the luck to say I've never been through one, but I've seen a few. So, okay,
I've never been through one or really seen one, so.
you're lucky. That said,
Well, at
That
least I
said-
improved my time at best by 4 more seconds.
Oh,
I improved
nice.
Mine by nothing.
that said,
I
we have.
I should get somewhat close to 256 I'm at best soon. And sub 3 is free.
That said, we just a few closing comments for the tournament, and to remind you all of the ending placements. The bronze match has been played 3 days ago. And Mutants Abyss won at 304.49, which is a very respectable time. Claire didn't have the best of times through the tournaments at some points, but it ended up working out just fine. Viper, you got second place. At the end of the day, at the start of the tournament, there was a lot of talk about who could upset the balance, but the talk was, okay, who's gonna win? Who's the main candidate, Viper or Hardcore? And
I kept telling everyone that there is almost absolutely no way I could go up against Hardcore, and this is to everyone, told you so. I told you so.
okay, so Hardcore, what do you say about it? Because I remember you had a couple of let's just say dodgy races.
311.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was talking to you right before the race, and you mentioned to me like, I don't feel like playing, I feel sick, etc. But you still pull through. And admittedly, if you was any opponent up from quarterfinals onwards, you would have lost that race.
Yeah.
But
I
still,
was really lucky. I could have lost some races, to be honest. I really
So-
could have.
yeah. Does any of you have a feeling that you got away with something? Probably you, Arker, more than Viper, because Viper won most races extremely convincingly. I have to say, the closest one was with Claire, but Claire went the first
My race against Man, I think it was quarterfinals. That was really close.
My race against Men was also pretty scary until like late game.
The Man was ahead of me out of World 4 because I really messed up a lot and I soft locked and stuff. And his run was really good for him.
I guess I was
One.
I guess I was less worried about winning and more so I'm worried about performing well. So like I don't really care if I like even though I lost, this is a race I'd say I was happy with because I didn't make a complete fool of myself.
Yeah, and we talked about this, like the mentality-wise, you have this very not looking necessarily at the time, but at your gameplay, being able to bounce back from mistakes, and I think despite not having this super great beginning where Archer was spotless, you still were able to keep in the game. Any mistake that Archer made, really, you didn't follow in his footsteps. You clawed back from every mistake Archer made, but Archer just didn't make enough mistakes, I guess you could say. When it comes down to actual speed, you said it yourself, like you knew that it was faster than you on pure speed basis. So I guess, unless Gink, you have anything else to say, I'm gonna be congratulating.
I'm really glad that this tournament actually went somewhat well.
Yeah.
That is actually very surprising. I do think this game is a little bit long for tournament races. So I think in the future, if we ever do another Galaxy 2 tournament, I think it should maybe be more invitational based. So like maybe limit it to like a 16-man bracket or something. Or 16-person bracket, and I think that would probably that would probably be a lot more well received. I think
this. I want to say a lot of things about this, not because I disagree with any of the points, but mainly because the fantastic one-man crew who brought the tournament to life before it was actually organized by multiple people, but the one-man crew who thought about the tournament, i.e., yours truly,
Elias.
thought about this as a way, okay, the game is on the up, we need to bring the community together. It doesn't necessarily need to be a tournament. Everybody needs to be able to join in. But I have to say, the Invitational was a thing that we were considering. There are other projects up and being prepared. Again, by yours truly, once yours truly will be able to do stuff instead of having to study for exams every single day of the week. So you can look forward for stuff. We will definitely bring on more Galaxy in general, because it's really, both Galaxy 1 and 2 are wonderful games that are not nearly appreciated as much as they should be.
I agree with that.
So you can look forward to stuff for both Galaxy games. I know Viper, you might be like, maybe it's Galaxy 1 and not going to be super interested in, but we will see how that's going to go.
I mean, I have the files for JPVC now, so maybe.
Maybe it's better.
Also, now that I finally have a Green Star file, I can actually do stuff with that.
So there's going to be more news, but for the time being, Hardcore, you won the first place, and together with the glory, etc., and all that stuff that for people who study economics doesn't matter, you also won your fair share of 40 euros. How does it make you feel? First time a prize pool is present in the Galaxy community.
I mean, for me, it's still insane that it's even possible to get any money through playing the video game. So, pretty nice. That's I don't know.
Alright, and instead, Viper, you got 24 euros, which I think if you do the conversion is close to $30, or close-ish, I think.
I will send you my PayPal information later.
I'll take it as a you're welcome. Very well.
After the GSA League, I'm pretty sure I was in the 70-star Division 2 League for Season 2 of GSA last year, and I'm pretty sure it took me like 3 months to remember to send Milo my PayPal information.
So, again, don't do that mistake. Worst thing that happens is that if somebody forgets, this prize pool is gonna be transferred to another tournament. So it's not gonna go to anything besides Galaxy stuff. But just so you know, just send me your PayPal because it's so easy to forget.
Also, a suggestion for future tournaments: can we actually get commentators for races, please?
Hey.
Okay, the races like these are like exceptions, but like I am pretty sure there were a handful of races where we just did not have any commentators.
Yes, and unfortunately, it is a case of you're probably talking to two of the people that have been the most active in commentary. So whenever Hinka couldn't really commentate, we don't really have, unfortunately, a pool of commentators. But what I would say is, well, I'm gonna be looking forward to actually expand the crew a bit, because it's not super easy. You've seen it yourself. I could not always be there 100%, and honestly, nobody can do that unless they're doing this professionally.
Especially if there are races which take place in like 4 a.m. in the morning.
So we will try
European time.
We will try to do our best when it comes to bringing yourself an experience. It's definitely been a learning experience again to have tournaments. I guess now I can say I have a couple of decent tournaments under my belt as organizer. And
this is the highest I've ever placed in a tournament.
Same.
Oh yeah, Archer, because you lost to Sludgy in the tournament.
And the farthest I've made it until this point was in Simply 16-star Invitational back in 2018. I made it to bronze match somehow because I just fluked against every single one of my opponents, basically.
Consistency is key, and that's always been the case.
The only reason I won against Ouija is because I popped off hard and got my current PB.
We're still gonna take it.
And that PB is now over 2 years old.
Alright, so I think we can wrap this up. Thank you to everybody that has been together with us for the entire tournament and watched this match in particular.
Thanks a lot for organizing.
And GG Hardcore, thank you, and thanks for organizing, and again GG Hardcore. I really should have seen that coming.
Thanks.
You will have your chance of revenge soon-ish.
We'll see about that.
But
I gotta actually get good first.
But we will see what the plans for tournaments are gonna be. And last call for everybody was play the tournament, was follow the tournament. It's in the Discord for the event. I'm gonna be pulling up a poll soon where you can vote for any player that's made it to the bracket stage as the player of the tournament. That's gonna be taken into account when we do a vote over on the player of the tournament. And the player of the tournament is gonna receive an extra 5% from the prize pool. So if you're interested in that, feel free to vote.
I think Twitch done broke. I think Twitch just broke.
Yeah, Twitch just went down.
Okay, well we should
timing. Yeah, we should
probably go.
Yeah, we should probably go now.
All right, see y'all.
Okay,
Right.
thanks to everyone, and thanks to Elias for organizing this. This was so fun to commentate and to play in. It was really cool.
Dude, this was the first and only actual good tournament.
I mean, Hardcore would call the 2018 and 90% tournament for Galaxy 1 good. It wasn't bad.
Yep.
Not sure about you, but
how about an any percent Mario tournament? That would be cool, right?
Anyway,
Mario.
Gank, I'm not kicking you from the crew. Because
did Twitch just die or just chilling?
I think it's still streaming, but the GUI is just. Are you still streaming? No, you're not.
I'm just gonna cut this on the channel. So
yeah, okay.
Right.